Okay. Yeah. And it's Exploding Heads episode 140. Big episode 140 for more reasons than one. Well, not just huge.
The junior of all episodes. Why Junior makes it seem smaller though? It seems like it's like not quite a full episode, where we mean it as it's larger than life. And why
right.
is that, Dave? Why is it larger than life?
I don't know anything about it. What's larger than life? The show or Junior?
The show. What do you mean?
Oh,
I don't know.
I thought he meant Junior also.
See, thank you. I didn't know what this guy want me to talk about. I don't want to talk about it.
I meant our special guest. I'm trying to segue in.
We're sorry. We're stumbling out of the gate. We had audio issues. Everything was messed up. But the good news is that the special guest, there's been no issues at all. He's signed in. He's on Skype for the first time. Well, not with us, that is. The audio sounds good. And everything's straight. He's picked 3 movies. Well, we picked the movies, but we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, he's cashed in his golden ticket. We're really happy to have him here. Mitchell Johnson. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
I think he just called you Junior. I'm doing great. Mitchell Jr.
Ooh, we're having trouble getting out the gate.
Do you guys see Mitchell or no?
No. He's just a black entity. Are you?
Okay,
you don't have to be on camera, Mitchell.
No,
but you're more than welcome to be on camera.
I just wanted to make sure that this is not an error on my end, because I see a black entity as well.
There's always an error on your end.
Oh wait, you can't say that. Black entity.
Oh.
Black entities matter.
Well, oh my Lord.
Oh, he's a black entity again.
Yeah, he's going to leave the show. He's going to be, I don't want to be part of this. Click. And he just hangs up. I want no part. Welcome. It's been, we knew this show was happening for a while now. So it's great to finally be here. It's going to be like an 80s kind of vibe, except for that hat that Brandon's wearing. That's more like circa 1993.
Oh, was that joke?
Don't ooh that, Mitchell.
What? You know what? I'm self-conscious ever since you said that. Like the first time I wore it. Why does it look like a penis?
Doesn't it? Nobody thinks it but me. It looks a little bit like a black penis.
Looks like Junior.
Oh,
you black dildo.
I'm convinced Junior's a black penis.
Well, he is theoretically. You know, theoretically, my wife used to say that, that I'm black from the waist down. So, those are her words, not mine. I'm not bragging. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, no bragging here.
The balls are still white, though. It's a very weird visual.
I hate my fucking balls because they've always been really. I do.
Are they long? They're long.
As much as I love Junior. See, they've always been huge, which is great when you're a kid. But the older you get, you got huge balls. It becomes a fucking real issue.
They're dangling now. You sat on them once or twice, haven't you?
No, but I peed on them a couple times.
Peed on them?
I haven't sat on them yet.
That's some crazy ass balls. How do you pee on your own balls?
Intentionally. That's how you do it.
No. Because,
like right now, if I pee, I'm sure I'm going to get some on my balls, but if I'm actually standing to pee, there's no chance in hell.
I can explain. Little known fact about Junior. As much as he is a good thing, when he's, I hate to use the word again because I used it once before and I got a tease for it, but when he's flaccid, especially, you know how most guys' penises like double in size when they get hard. Okay.
Sorry, Brandon's like, yeah. Yeah.
Basically, Dave's saying he's got a micro penis when he's flaccid.
Yes, it's not micro, but it's smaller to the fact that like right now, if I'm sitting down, it's actually right now I'm fine. But you know how you could be sweaty or something, you can stand up.
I get it. Like you gotta leaf through
your scrotum.
You gotta leaf through balls to get to it. I've cracked the joint. Like you gotta
That's like you're like. That's what I mean. Yes. So that's how I pee on.
Okay. I've peed on my balls too. I understand what you're saying.
See, you guys made me sound like I was Mr. Fucking
Mitchell, have you peed on your balls?
I'm at the point now where I have not.
Well,
Mitchell.
I think I still got about 15 years before I do that.
You must do it now before you continue on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think now we gotta send Dave one of those toilet seats that have like the little, like that foam on it.
Oh yeah,
You-
and a diva cup.
Yep, to hold those nuts.
Well, I'll take a foam seat. I'll take any seat over a fucking ceramic. I got 2 ceramic seats in my house, and I fucking hate them because they get cold. I hate them.
You know,
what I
you
mean?
can buy like a cushioned seat for like $5, right? Or like.
Don't you think I would have? If this is my wife's doing. I'm wrenched. This is what I'm trying. I brought it in, but she, for whatever reason, likes these seats, and I'm a fan of the cushioned one. So rather than fight with her about it, I got a cold ass. What can I tell you? I mean,
I take it one step further. I will not put the seat up or down. I just keep it up 100%, and I sit right on the bowl of crap, like right on the fuck seats.
Isn't that the worst?
I crap standing up right into my hand, and then I throw it in the bowl.
I have a friend who, when his dog takes a shit, he doesn't pick it up. He stands under it with the bag and lets him shit into the fucking bag.
The only thing, the funniest part that's going through my mind right now is Mitchell's probably going, what the fuck? I mean, I listen to these guys, but like literally we're like 5 minutes into the show. We've talked about pissing on our own balls, shitting in our own hands. What is wrong with us?
Hilarious.
No, it's actually pretty funny. I was telling Dave, we recently just moved into a house, so having to change all of our mail, they've been sending us like our credit card orders and stuff.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, what's Patreon? And I was like trying to explain it to her. I was like, it's a podcast you pay for. And she thought I was crazy. She literally thought I was paying for porn again.
Oh.
Like,
well, Show
it
Junior.
was the funniest thing. I was like, trust me, this is what it is.
It's just
Yeah,
porn.
play it.
It's just it's all male porn of guys being on their balls.
It's actually you have to. This is how you explain it to her, honey. It's way more depressing than that. I paid for 3 guys to talk, and I'm going to join them. So does she know that you're joining the show today, at least? Like,
Yeah,
so she realizes it's not
I
porn.
explained everything to her. Yeah, she does.
Oh, is she gonna listen?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, well, hello. What's her name?
Leilani.
Leilani, like Leilani Kai. You know what Leilani Kai is, right? Or no?
No.
No,
Damn
neither do I.
I don't.
Leilani Kai. Well,
Leilani.
you know what? I'm dating myself. Mitchell, how old are you? I'm sorry, I should have.
I'm 28.
Okay, you wouldn't.
Oh,
know.
you're off the
Okay.
show.
Leilani Kai. No, she was a female wrestler. She when the Rock and Wrestling Connection kicked off, the first WrestleMania, Cyndi Lauper was involved. It was a big, huge thing. This is why wrestling is alive today, because this happened, a long time ago, 36 years ago. Fabulous Moolah was the women's champion for years, and then you know who that is. She
She used
No,
to be
I
on
had
her
no clue.
balls. She used to be on her balls. That was a signature move.
That's her move.
I can't believe. Anyway, Fabulous Moolah was the champion for like 27 years, and she finally got beat by this girl, Wendy Richter. Now, Wendy Richter became the champ for a bit, and then the person that she lost to was managed by Moolah, and her name was Leilani Kai. So it was a
I feel
big
like
deal.
I'm doing a show with Willis.
You can request a refund at any moment, Mitchell. I apologize to both you and your wife.
Aw. And,
Oh, we
I
got the
haven't-
awe already.
yeah, I have a niece. Her name is Alana, right? And she's in her 20s now or whatever. But when she was a newborn, my brother and I used to call her, because her name was Alana. She was also called Miss Lonnie, Lonnie girl, this and that. Well, we also called her for a short time Miss Leilani. So this, it comes full circle.
So if things don't work out with your wife, we've got a backup for you.
Oh man. Oh,
Just
that's cool, though.
joking. Because she's listening right now.
She could probably hear us right now.
Okay, great.
Oh wait, can she hear? Can she hear me? I probably not. No.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, because usually if somebody doesn't have an earplug in their ear, we would hear the feedback of you hearing our voices through the computer. So I figured that you were ear plugged in. I forgot to mention that in prep, but it doesn't matter. Obviously, if right, everything sounds
No,
fine.
it sounds fine. Yeah. Sorry.
Everything's perfect.
I want to bring up a point. You mentioned that you're 28, not to keep bringing up your age, but I find that, like, again, I don't want to play the age card because everybody gets so, amped up about like, oh, it doesn't matter about age. But I think it's very interesting that you are such a fan of 80s horror, because usually I would just suspect that at your age you'd probably be a bigger fan of 90s horror because you would have grown up on that more so. No? Am I talking totally out of line?
Yes.
No, honestly, both. Like, growing up, all the reruns on TV were all the 80s. And, my dad didn't really like horror. It was more of my mom that was really into it. So, most of the time when you turn on the Sci-Fi Channel or one of the older horror channels, it was always some older 80s movie.
And that got you hooked. Yeah,
I was hooked. I mean, Child's Play hooked me, and obviously Maximum Overdrive had me.
Awesome.
I remember seeing Maximum Overdrive at a hotel on a family trip, and it had, when you would go up, and all I cared about when we were pulling up to a hotel, I didn't care if it was a shithole, which it never was because my mom would never let it be. But if it said color TV, HBO free, and pool, as long as those words are up there, the fact that color TV was still part of that was hilarious to me. But free HBO and pool, that's what I looked for. It could have been like a Motel 3. I didn't care.
It could have been a Motel Hell.
Yeah. That was a better joke.
At the end, Steve's buried in fucking dirt. But in front of him is the fucking color TV.
HBO's in front of it.
Don't put the pig on. Don't put the pig head on me. I just want to finish the movie.
Don't put the pig head on me.
But I saw Maximum Overdrive there, and my dad was like, I'm going to bed, because he hated it, and he hated the soundtrack. He's like, that is a complete ripoff of Psycho, which, of course, he's a huge Hitchcock fan, and that infuriated him even more. So I had to put the movie down, because there's no headphone. I had to put the movie down on low, sit like right up to the TV to watch it, so that my dad could get to sleep, and we could get an early start to the next day. But that was my memory of first seeing Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, mine was honestly the same. Funny thing too,
You were with Christian's dad?
Yeah. You were the one.
It was possibly. My dad's actually born in Christian's favorite state. He loves to bash here.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love Alabama. I don't know anything about Alabama other than the fact that it should be the prison state, as I keep mentioning.
Oh, yeah, that's what everyone thinks, too, so it's fine.
I didn't know that was a known thing. I thought people love... I guess people that are in Alabama love Alabama. Like Leonard Skinner.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide on that. Right, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Alabama. I always think of Forrest Gump, honestly.
The fact that they even had TV there at the motels was a shocking thing. You drive through Alabama.
Man.
Radio.
I know, they probably had the old wires on the TV.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, they had more TVs per room than teeth.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Was he, born and raised? Like, he doesn't live back there now, does he?
No. He was just born there, but it's just funny because, when you brought it up, I was like, oh, shit. Like, it's just another, like, something else that, like, would, bring me closer, into the show. It's like, oh, dang. Like, just the similarities,
Christian, you really want to know if his mom is also his aunt, right?
It was rolling around up there. But I wanted to feel comfortable being on the episode first.
Yeah, Yeah, one step at a time. Exactly.
Come on, Brandon.
Okay.
We're minute 15 here.
Okay, so Mitchell, here's what I want to know. How did you find out about this podcast? That's always intrigued me.
Well, he's
And I've
doing data research, Dave. Here.
No, it's not because of that. I'm just curious. Data
Listen to
research.
the metrics.
I don't know why I called it data research.
Found us via want ad.
Well, just at work, because I clean out houses pretty much every day, Monday through Friday, and just going through YouTube, I was pretty much podcast out. All the ones I was listening to, I either finished them or was always waiting on an episode.
So stop. Sorry to interrupt. What were the other podcasts you were listening to? I'm just curious. This stuff.
I was listening to mostly like sports ones, like MMA. I listened to Rogan, Steve Austin sometimes.
Right on. Okay.
But
InfoWars.
yeah, like horror, like I said, like I used to grew up. I loved it, watching it, and I kind of faded away kind of towards the end of high school. And then I happened to, the first episode I heard of your guys's was the Friday the 13th retros.
All right.
Yeah.
That was on YouTube?
Yeah, the YouTube. And yeah, just listening to that. I mean, it took me 2.5 days to listen to the whole thing, but
Took us that long to record it.
but after that episode, I was hooked. And then from there it went to starting to buy the blues again, and it kind of just brought everything back like full circle.
Nice.
Wow.
I was like, started going to the conventions again, and it's just the last 4 years have been nothing but horror again.
Awesome.
I think we all went through a little bit of
it. Mad at us.
Yeah.
For you spending
Is she a
money
horror
on it, you
fan
weren't
too?
spending-
At all?
She'll watch what I put on. I kind of have an idea of what she'll watch and what she won't.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if it's a good story, she'll sit through it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
That's cool.
exactly the same situation that I'm in as well. Like, there are certain ones, like we watched, my wife let the right one in, so she wanted to watch both versions again. So we just did that comparison. That would make for a good show.
Which
Both
one was
movies
the right
are great.
one?
Yeah.
They're both great. I think we both agreed. We just had this discussion right before recording that Let Me In actually tells the story in a better, more interesting way, we found. Both movies avoid the underlining theme of like the older people being absolute creeps and more like sexual deviants. And they make him more companion-like, which I think was necessary to make like a relatable character, like for the older character, right? Because he's more of like a molester almost, in a sense. Like in the book, I haven't read the book. I'm taking like information that my wife passed on to me. Both movies kind of avoided that and made them more likable characters. There are sequences that were filmed better in the Swedish version, but overall, we think we lean towards the Let Me In.
Of course you do.
Wow.
Which was similar to my initial thought process back when I said I liked them both, but I think I liked Let Me In more. Just
Were you
again,
eating Swedish fish when you watched the Swedish
meatballs,
version?
just Swedish meatballs. Yeah.
Did you watch it at IKEA?
Yes. Well, that's Swedish for common sense, right?
Was the Swedish chef with you at the time?
Yes. Honky. That's a Muppet joke for you, Mitchell.
It's not like a donkey version. That was
I
a
was
Swedish-
just gonna say that. It sounded fucking like.
Yeah.
Leave it to this ass to sound like a
Right.
donkey.
Of course, a jackass.
There he is.
Oh,
you
hey!
turned it on. I didn't know how to turn her camera on.
Oh,
shit,
perfect.
now-
Hey, nice to meet you.
Hey!
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hello.
We are not pornography.
Oh,
I found out. I did a lot of Googling. I didn't know what he was.
Well, nice
Okay,
to
I'm
meet
going
you.
back to sleep. You
Yeah.
too. Bye.
Perfect.
wow.
There he
That
is.
was cool.
Finally figured out to turn the lights on in the room.
Looks good. Looks like he almost has a filter. You know?
Really? Is it too bright?
No. Looks great.
It's not
Looks good.
No, it looks fine. It looks fine.
You
It's
might
all
actually
good.
be
It's not
Brandon's
nothing-
replacement moving forward.
I was gonna say.
What'd you say? What about
Nothing,
me?
Brandon.
No, say it. I missed it. I'm sorry. I totally spaced.
The
What were you
usual
saying?
joke. It looks like he's going to be your replacement moving forward.
Oh.
Fuck it. See, he's come down. See, he figured it out. Well, now see, he's got a Brandon issue, but it's okay. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
It's all
No.
good. Brandon, honestly, to get on that subject, he has figured that out. It took him, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, but he finally figured out how to lower his camera.
Untwilight himself.
Yeah. How did you figure it out after all this time?
It wasn't. I didn't have to figure out how to lower it. I had to figure out how to turn it right side up.
No, not that. Or the lighting. The fucking lighting. You're not white
Mitchell.
anymore. You're not pasty white.
Oh, that's
Remember
because.
the-
Oh, wait.
Oh, boy.
We've
Am I
told this
whiter
story
now?
before. This is a true story. One time he showed up, the camera was upside fucking down. Like this is not. We're not making this up. This was like I wanted to recreate that when the original idea for the script that I wanted to write was going to be us until Brandon said I can't act. I don't want to be in the movie. He just wants to produce. So I wanted to open it up with his camera upside down because it had to be based in some sort of reality. And this happened. His dad had to come in and help him. It was like 20 minutes of him. I wish we recorded it. To this day, I wish we recorded that.
It just
Oh,
wedged perfectly on top of the computer. And I didn't realize, I didn't see that Logitech was upside down.
But
was
20
like
minutes!
Techajill.
minutes.
I was like, oh, what kind of camera you have? A Techajill.
That would have been
It's like-
gold.
Yeah.
Just like him falling asleep. That would have probably topped it.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I on the ceiling? This doesn't make any sense.
His dad, I'm surprised your dad came in, but still between the two of you, like I don't think I'm exaggerating, Dave. Am I? It was like 20 minutes before we got back.
No,
to
it
the
took
road.
that long. It
Yeah.
did. It really did. It legit took me that long to realize because I had no idea.
It didn't take him as long as it took me the night we were recording the best of 2015 or 16 show, whichever one it was, when I was at my father's apartment, and I was fucking, and I had, for some reason I couldn't log into Skype, so I'm pressing these buttons to log in an older version of Skype on my regular email, and it's telling me that it keeps sending me a password to activate on the email, and the fucking thing isn't coming, and I'm flipping out. Finally, I figured out that if I look at my app in my phone, this is what it says. Like, okay, hold it. Inbox. Okay, there's the inbox. There it is. Mailboxes. So now I go back to the Outlook. Now I go to the Outlook, and it says VIP flagged, unread today, draft sent, junk, and trash. So I'm looking in the junk, maybe the trash. Where's this fucking email that's not coming in? And I can't find it. Nothing. This is going on half an hour. I go, guys, I don't know what the fuck is going on. They keep saying they're sending emails. They're not coming. I can't get on Skype. So finally, I scroll down a little bit longer, and then it says junk email. There's another folder called junk email that has about 2,000 things in it. So I open that, and sure enough, that's where it is.
The only
You have
person
a
that
lot
doesn't
of
know where junk
junk.
email is. Yeah. In the
Why
trunk.
would there be a junk?
1
in a
hour.
junk
That was a 1 hour delay.
See?
I remember that.
And it was
we're
for
like,
a
okay,
huge show.
And then the longest delay of all, Christian's red wine nap. That was a 2-hour delay. Wake the fuck up. We almost had to send Heather to your house to wake you up.
Yeah. We didn't know Heather yet. Heather
No,
was
we
not in
didn't.
our lives yet.
Honestly, if Heather was, I would have texted Heather, get over to Christian's house, wake him up.
Right.
That was a combination. I was sitting on the couch. I was drinking copious amounts of red wine, and we were reviewing. And we were reviewing what movie? Starry Eyes, which I like a lot. Or Starry Eyes was that the one I actually fell asleep? Yeah, I come back. I'm like, yeah, unique storytelling, everything good. 9 out of 10. Done.
That was great.
The funniest part of that, though, was, Christian, you weren't even awake for it. Dave's reaction. I told him not to drink the red wine. He was flipping out.
Well, that one we recorded, so I got. But that was on Patreon. I put that out a few last year or something like that. But that's funny. But I wish we got your dad with the upside down camera. That would have been cheap. My
And
lord.
Dave, I understand that with the folders. There are sometimes I have on my email account, I'll have deleted items, and then you have trash.
Yeah, but I also have one called junk.
What?
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
It's the same
There
thing.
was already a folder called junk. Matter of fact, look here.
It should just be pictures of Junior in the junk
Check
in the junk folder.
For the benefit of people with visual, look at what this says, okay? Mailboxes. This is the inbox. Look
Sorry
at-
to our
this
blind
is out.
listeners.
Okay, look. Okay, you see this? You go down, you go down.
Yeah,
Okay.
that looks like a normal setup for email. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but then at the end it
It
says
does. Correct. That's what I'm saying. There's like 10 things there. Now, hold on. You saw that it's a draft sent, junk, and trash. So at the end, but now, all the way at the bottom. See?
What?
junk email.
Junk email. Way the fuck down at the bottom below all these other normal things that every other email has. Junk, trash, fucking this and that, archived. You know what I mean? Why would it be way the fuck down there? And why would you have a folder called junk that was issued by this company, you know, and another one called junk email? How does that make any
You
sense?
could delete them. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't had the problem since. Now I know that, you know.
You know what I keep in my archive
Not gonna
folder?
happen
Just
again.
video clips of men peeing on their balls.
It's a crazy popular subgenre.
Yeah.
You don't realize it until you go through there.
Just go on Pornhub and type that in.
It is
They're all
coming
legal
back.
because they're all like
coming back.
50-year-old men. It's coming back. Oh, here it goes again. I'm pissing on my own balls.
It's gonna
It's
show
crazy.
up.
So
There's a whole
nonchalant.
piss thing out. Yeah, it's gonna show up eventually. There's a whole fucking subgenre about pissing fucking on those porn sites. So you know if you dug deep, eventually you're gonna find somebody pissing on somebody's balls. Maybe not even their own. It's gonna happen. Somebody's pissing on balls in the porn world somewhere.
Somewhere in the porn world.
You know what I mean? Women might be
Oh,
pissing on
gosh.
males' balls for all we know. Who knows? Things do happen. I mean, it's not really my cup of tea.
Sure, if you're
but-
getting a golden shower, at some point there's piss dripping down on your balls. But I don't know why, how, and why we got here, to be honest. Because there's a more pressing question that needs to be asked, which we always ask, and we can't exclude Mitchell from it. And that would be
Oh no.
Rocky 4 or Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. What's your choice?
Oh man. Damn. I think I'm leaning towards Nightmare 2.
Nice.
Cut his feet.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Do it live. Now, are you a fan of the Rocky series at all? First and foremost,
Oh yeah, man. Stallone's the man.
Stallone is the man. So if we were to say Rocky 1, 2, or 3 against Nightmare 2, who would win?
Oh man, Rocky freaking too easy.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Okay, well, there we go. I got to revamp the. Wait, what about Rocky 4 Director's Cut? That will have to be what we put in.
Oh, it's done.
Coming soon, yeah. I read that it's done. And we'll be see. I don't know how they're going to edit because that robot is in. Remember when they start cheering? They cut back to the kids cheering. The robot's behind them. Are they going to just digitally take them out?
Why not? That's what they do these days. If they can if they can digitally put fucking
If
Diddle.
they can diddle kids, then they can certainly cut out a robot.
I hope what they actually do is they actually have like Mr. T sort of coming in and creeping up as if he's going to like kidnap the kid. Like they just add that in as like a part that, so there could be like an offshoot sequel where he's got to like save his kid from Mr. T. Because Clubber Lang didn't die. So instead of the robot, you just see Mr. T creeping up behind him. Brandon's not
I'm
amused with
curious.
that idea.
Well, it is done. Does anybody know has he gone like online or anywhere publicly and said what he's cutting out? Or all we know is that he is doing one?
I think they're just cutting out the fight scene at the end. It's basically going to be all robot.
I'm sad about that. That's the best part is that fucking robot. You know?
Best
That's
part.
the best part.
Well, okay. It's
Happy
not the
birthday,
best
Polly.
part, but it's memorable. Right. Happy birthday, Paul. It's fun. You know what I mean? It's better than one of the montages. That's all I'm saying.
But then it comes back when Carl Weathers or Apollo Creed's there and they're having drinks and then he's like, "Hey, Paulie," he brings up a beer. Like the robot's in more than one scene. Stupidly enough. It's like
And the
Yeah,
director's
scenes.
cut, the robot pees on Paulie's balls.
Happy birthday, Polly.
I can barely get that out.
Oh, see, here it is. So this is what he said. The Rocky IV director's cut will feature new footage not seen in the original, such as a new fight scene between Rocky Balboa and Ivan Drago. I don't know what that means, but another major difference is that Paulie's pet robot will no longer be featured, yada yada. This is a quote.
Lives.
The robot is going to the junkyard forever. No more robot. Stallone previously said he hates him. Wow.
Creed
Wow.
lives. I like that.
No, but there is this part where Creed opens up his coffin and goes, "Hello, baby." Huh? What reference to another part 4?
Nightmare.
You got it.
Come on. Okay,
You guys are
Nightmare
off the
4
show.
or Rocky 4? Nightmare 4 or Rocky 4? Does it change anybody's vote?
No, Rocky 4.
No, Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky 4.
Rocky 4 definitely over Nightmare 4. Okay, how about Halloween 4 versus Rocky 4?
I'm a Halloween 4. I like Halloween 4, but Rocky 4 is the shit.
Okay.
Rocky 4 to me, I told you, it encompasses everything 80s in that movie to me. So I love it. It's
I'll take
cheese at its finest.
You guys agree? Rocky 4 or Nightmare 4?
Yeah,
or, not-
Rocky.
or Halloween. I apologize. Halloween.
Rocky.
Yeah, no, Rocky 4.
So Rocky's taking all of them right now. Now here's where it gets tough. The last one I'll ask. Friday the 13th. All right? The final chapter, part 4. That or Rocky 4. For me, I got to go into the final chapter. Sorry about that, but can't compare.
I'm Friday fanboy, as you all know, but I think I'm still going to go Rocky 4 in this case. I think it's just a fantastic sequel.
Happy birthday, Trish. Happy birthday, Trish.
He's going to replace the robot with Trish. How about that? Imagine that Trish comes out. Happy
Instead
birthday,
of Tommy,
Paulie.
it's the robot.
Instead of Gordon,
That's what you
instead
buy
of Gordon, they
Patch
have the robot running around.
Yeah, the robot gets thrown out the window.
Come here, Roby.
Instead of
Hey,
Gordon.
Roby. Roby. Yeah.
That's what they should do.
Robot goes
We should do a Friday 4 cut and remove Gordon completely.
And put the robot in.
Put the
And then
beat.
just, that's it.
Just leave his tail wagging as he goes out the window.
You know how much dialogue would be cut from that if they got rid of Gordon? Hey, Gordon.
True. They'd probably have to take out what's his name if that was the case.
Tommy.
Feldman. So are you guys the same? Brandon and Mitchell, you also go with Rocky 4 or Friday 4?
It's a much tougher choice, but I love Rocky 4 so much. I love Friday 4 too. Don't get me wrong.
As do
No,
I.
I'm definitely Friday 4.
All right, okay.
Definitely.
Something insane here. Holy shit. Wow, Rocky 4. You guys talk about it like it's fucking
Well,
don't even
to me,
know.
it's weird
Star
because
Wars.
you've got
Star Wars or something.
well, you got the Rocky franchise, but this one to me is it's something bigger. And I'm not saying bigger in like a masterpiece. It's like a masterpiece of cheese. If anything, like it encompasses 80s Hollywood movies, like in my opinion. Like it's just everything. Montage sequences, just cut down to the finest moments. It's boom, bam, bing, done. It's crazy good in its epic cheese factor as well. Like you've got it's all the ingredients of a Rocky movie, but just amped up to like the 11, which I could see turning people off.
Everything
But I
he
love
just
it.
said is true.
Everything he just said is true about Child's Play. Boom, bang, bing, and out. Paced well and epic in cheese factor.
Here comes the
Child's Play 1.
Yeah.
here comes the Grinch here. Look at him.
Oh, we'll save it. We'll save
save
it.
it.
Starting to heat up.
Getting all red.
Well, we did choose initially now. Mitchell did something really cool, and he gave us a list. And he said, pick 3 from the list. He goes, well, Maximum Overdrive, that's his pick. He goes, pick the other 2. So there were other movies we could have chosen. And off the top of my head, does anybody
Shoot those
remember?
to me. No, I'd like to. I'd like to have
Shoot
it.
those to me.
Yeah. Like, I want to know the list again because I just remember what we chose because it's we're going back a ways now, and I barely remember the ones we chose, so I needed to refresh my memory.
Well, don't worry.
Mitchell-
Dave's about to shoot those over to you.
I'm gonna shoot, unless Mitchell knows them off the top of his head. But I mean, if not,
Even if he does, I think you should just shoot those over to him.
beam him up. Oh fuck! All right, well.
And release.
Oh, here they are. I found it. Here they are. Idle Hands. See, now we see more 90s popping up and stuff. Idle Hands, 13 Ghosts, Jeepers Creepers, Silver Bullet, The Faculty, Ginger Snaps, The Gift, and Child's Play. So a little bit of everything. A little early 2000s, a couple 90s, and we chose the 80s, of course.
We were the ones that made it an 80s show.
Yeah.
That's why Mitchell's like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? I picked like a whole realm of films. You guys are the assholes that picked 380s. Anyway, well, that's how it went. It's funny. Like again, I'll save my thoughts for Child's Play. I mean, we've spoken about it on this, and I've spoken about it on my other show because we did it on the other show as well. But yeah, I don't know, man. I know it holds a special place in the heart for a lot of people. It just does
you were
not
gonna save
work
your
for me.
thoughts.
I will.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
He's
We'll
like,
save it for the end.
I'll save my thoughts, but I'm just gonna tell them to you right now.
It's true.
Well,
That
that'll be
did
the
happen.
main event. Since we know we're going to be going back and forth a little bit on it. The other ones, I don't know if we're going to go back and forth so much, but we'll see. I do have big news. I have big news. Actually, I have to thank somebody. I honestly, because I did it on the page. But I didn't.
What did you do on the page?
Did you do it
What
on the
did
page?
you do on the page?
Oh, mamma mia! Sorry. On the page, I mentioned about Sasha. Sasha Overby sent me a bunch of Fangorias, and not just Fangorias, but she also sent me some Rumorgs, and they're all from like the 2000s. Really interesting stuff. Because again, I've only cracked them open and like glanced through them and everything, but honestly, she sent me a pretty decent amount of things here. She sent me probably like 30 something Fangorias and like a dozen Rumorgs, and they're all from like the Fangorias. They start in May 05 and they finish up in like in like March 2010 with a couple scragglers afterwards. Like they go up to like a 2014. Like there's like 3 magazines at the end that are like spaced apart. And then for Rumorg, she sent me like number 54 was the first one. It was March 06. And the last one was 169, August 2016. So they're spread out through there.
Dave, I got news to you. Number 54 was not the first one.
It was my first one, damn it. So, and she sent me the Twilight Zone comic and something else. So I wanted to thank her once again on the show. That was so cool. Really, thank you so much. I was so excited to get them. And
who sent them to you?
This. Sasha.
Are you sure this is not a guy?
It's not a guy. It's a girl. It's a girl, Sasha. Believe me.
What did you get, Christian?
Yeah. I got nothing. Nothing from Sasha. That's fine. I'm joking.
Well, he's not collecting.
This is a different Sasha than the last time? Remember we had this problem? Yeah, we talked about Sasha, and you're like, it was a girl. I'm like, are you sure it's not a guy? And it was a guy.
That name wasn't Sasha.
Yeah, that person's name definitely wasn't Sasha.
I swear it was Sasha.
No, it was
Sasha could be Sasha Baron Cohen. Why is this so alien to you guys when you're not thinking it could be either or?
No, well, okay. I don't know who Sasha Baron Cohen is. Only Sasha I know is Sasha.
Borat.
Yeah, Borat.
I've never seen Borat. I know nothing. I see a commercial once in my life. I
don't understand the stuff that you remember and know. Like fucking 80s jingles boggles my mind. And the stuff you don't know boggles my mind even more so.
He knows the jingle for the board game Boggle.
Yeah.
That's how boggling it is.
I see. There you go. I didn't know. Isn't Borat a guy like from the Middle East or something?
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
He's the Raptors. He's the Raptors #1 fan. I don't know. He's that guy. Super fan for the Raptors.
I agree with Christian though, Dave, because you have like this crazy knowledge to pull up like stuff from 40 years ago, random stuff that honestly I would never remember in a million years. and then it's like you have a blind spot to stuff that's like all over the place right now, which
like
is
pop
good.
culture.
I guess.
But
Yeah,
like,
pop culture that's like in your face right now.
I make sure it's not in my face. I'm not interested in it, so I just try to, stay out of it. That's just the way it is. And if I miss some good things along the way, like again, maybe this Borat's incredible, but if I'm missing, if 10% of the stuff I'm missing, I should see, and I may like, it's worth it to miss the 90% of the other stuff out there that I don't want to hear about or see. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a choice that I made. See what happened? Are you here?
no, I've got to move. So bear with me 1 second. Or as in 5 minutes.
Should we abort?
No, we're good.
Should we abort?
We're good. I'm just
Yeah,
going to be moving. Hold on.
Oh, I had to drop this bomb because I figured out the name, but I'm making fun of Christian, so I can't say who it is.
Maybe he's moving to a different podcast.
Maybe he's doing TGIF. He double booked. He's doing TGIF.
He's running back and forth.
Yeah, Vince is in there with him.
It's like the end of Mrs. Doubtfire. He doesn't know whether he should be Robin Williams or Euphigenia.
Amazing. Well, Mitchell, here's your chance. Christian's gone. Can you learn to produce by any chance and record and edit?
Shit, I barely learned how to turn the camera on.
Like me. Okay, that's all right, buddy. You're good in other ways, I'm sure. Everybody's got their own. That's not for me either, man. Forget about it. No. Well, I guess C's not in danger then. He's okay. We'll do our thing.
I mean, I was trying to get to bed at a decent time last night, but I have a baby. When she naps, I nap, so I ended up falling asleep yesterday, like at 4 in the afternoon. So I was up till midnight last night because I couldn't sleep.
Wow, you're on the East Coast. Pardon me, and you're on the West Coast, so
yeah,
it's a whole other fucking thing. Wow, yeah, you realize this? This guy got up at 6 a.m.
Whoa, I didn't realize you were on the West Coast.
I didn't know till last night because I told him, when we first started talking about the show, I go, just so you know. Yeah, right. He can't get. You kidding me? Watson.
I curse Christian every Saturday night. I'm like, fuck, I gotta wake up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You're waking up at 6? Yeah, no way.
Why are you cursing me? Why is it me? I'm not the one. I'm not the one that says we have to record. I'm saying we record at 9 because this is the time that works for me. I was totally happy recording at 9 o'clock at night when we used to do the show like that time.
I curse both of you equally.
My Lord.
To be fair, I even cursed Mitchell last night.
This Sunday morning thing is working though. It's nice. You wake up first thing, shower, get out of bed, get your shower out of the way, get your breakfast out of the way.
Did you order pizza?
Well, no, it's not pizza time. It's not football season. Although, it's a football thing with me, my father, and my brother. Now, my mother just got back, and stepfather just got back last night from Florida. They're snowbirds. They just got home. So later on this afternoon, I get to go and get some. My mother's gonna make sauce. So I'm fucking gonna go hang out with them.
Gravy, you mean?
Nice.
No, that's a Jersey thing. We don't call it gravy.
Well, I don't call it gravy either. I was just kidding. I don't know who calls it gravy, but I hate when they do that.
They say it in The
Assholes,
Sopranos,
probably.
and that's based in Jersey. So
That's true. That's true. Maybe it's a South Jersey thing.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But okay, so C.
I moved. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, you look great. You
breath.
look great. Yeah. So anyway, Shelby.
Look at Brandon.
Shelby was the person in question.
Yeah,
Fucking
Shelby.
Shelby, that was it.
Started with an S. I'll give you that. That's fine. But I'd be willing to wager that I'm no, I don't have to. I know for a fact. I've talked to her.
I wasn't sure if Mitchell was a guy until he came on the show. Why are you asking me? I'm kidding.
I'm not sure Dave's a guy anymore, considering he pees on his balls.
Oh, fuck. Well, and I have more news, more Fangoria news. It is over. I've listened to this shit. It's complete as we speak right now. I have the rest of my collection en route. It's in Pennsylvania right now. Check it.
Check the tracking out, today.
I had like 55 left in the top 100 to get. Right. I did a guest appearance on the Horror Cast, and a listener of the Horrorcast messaged me and said, "Hey, I have a bunch of these Fangorias. I have everything 1 to 155, and I had the first 25 issues of Gore Zone. I'm looking to unload them. I hear what you're saying on this show, and I'm not looking to get rich, so make me an offer." So we talked a little bit. At the end of the day, on the way right now, I have the 55 that was missing from the first 100, plus 101 to 155, just because they were offered to me and they were available, and the first 25 issues of Gore Zone, and a couple bloody best Fangorias. And at the end of the day, when they get here, I'm going to be paying less than $250 per issue, and I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah,
$250 an issue? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Frankie's not going to college.
That is great. I would ask him if he bought them from a Canadian guy like 20 years ago.
Yeah, at least you sold yours. I chucked my fucking 25 issues that I had back in.
Ask him if they're being delivered by Polybot.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to have them all here. I'm tempted to keep going, but I can't because with Sasha sending me those other ones from the 2000, I'm like, no, I just got to fill in a gap between, but I can't do that. I said it was only going to be the first 100. It's funny because the 155, it goes to like middle of 96, right before the Scream era. So I was thinking maybe I want to get a couple for Scream. I go, but if I go down that road, I just got to be, I'm done. I spent.
So you'll
I
have every
wife,
issue from 1 to 100 again.
Yes, I'll have, which is
nice.
I wanted to be. Actually,
155.
155. Yeah, all the way from freaking 79 to the middle of 96. So yeah, I'm thrilled. Plus the ones I got from Sasha here and Rumor. Yeah, so I'm so happy about it. So I'm done. I told my wife, I go, listen, this is what's happening. I'm going to spend this small chunk of change here, do this now, and I'm done. Yeah, I have nothing more to buy.
So the roof is going to leak for another year.
But he plugs it up with issue 155.
You got an option here, Mitchell. Baby formula or the first 100 issues of Fangoria. You think your wife might kill you if you decide Fangoria is the winner?
She probably would.
Yeah.
How old is your? Is it like a newborn?
No, she's gonna be she'll be 2 in July. I just she's still a baby though.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because getting up with a
she's...
newborn would be crazy.
No. Yeah, no, I might have had to bow out if that was the case.
Yeah. Still, 2 is that crazy time frame where my daughter gave up naps right before that time frame. I'm like, no, you still need naps. Nope, I'm not napping. And that was the worst.
It's crazy, like just seeing like how smart she is now already. It's like, oh dang. Yeah. Like she just catches on to everything so quick.
Well, the other thing about naps, I don't know if you know this, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Maps age you. So you might want to tell her if you want to keep her at 2 a little bit longer, make sure she doesn't have a nap. According to Dave, a nap ages you like 20 minutes a nap.
I thought he said maps age you.
Hold up.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'd be lost.
I fell asleep yesterday for 2 hours, woke up and I had freaking 3 gray hairs. I was like, oh damn.
He's
right.
No shit. I'm telling naps don't age you when you're a baby. They're required. But, as an adult, they age you. That's the difference. It's only supposed to be because think about it. Being a child, being a very small child, being a very small child and being a very elderly person is the same thing, the habits they go through. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're like in your 30s and 40s and you start that process already, that napping shit and everything else, you're done for. You're already fucking half, you know what I mean? That will age you. That will put you in that old man era.
Man, you guys got any more of that napping shit?
I just need 20 minutes. Yeah. I'll suck your dick.
I got these cheeseburgers.
Well, check this. Let's talk about naps. I have not taken a nap. Hold up. This is interesting because we're talking about his daughter napping. Now listen, and what you said about yours. Now, I haven't napped since I've been 6 months old, okay? According to my mother. That's when I outgrew him. Okay, right now, Frankie stopped napping by 6 months. My daughter has not taken a nap again since then, since she was 6 months old, And her third night in, after being home when we brought her home from the hospital, her third night, and every night from then on, she slept through the night. Never woke up, and just like me, fucking goes to bed, out, does not nap. It has not napped. It's out of the question for my daughter to take a nap.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta.
To me,
I want to take a nap. It's out of the question.
Yeah. You nap, you're out of the fucking house. Don't close your eyes.
I tried.
I'm up. Cold water. I've never heard this before. It's the craziest thing to me. It's alien to me.
Now, my wife sleeps all the time. She's always napping and has broken sleep. And, of course, she's all fucked up. That's what I'm saying. She's going to be an old lady 20 years before I'm old. I'm in big trouble. I'm going to be taking care of her. Yeah.
She's so well rested. She's so fucked up.
Yes.
I'm well rested because I go to bed. Okay, I go to bed at 9:30 at night, and I sleep until 6 a.m. the next day during the week. Every fucking day. I get 8 hours sleep plus. You know what I mean? I'm well rested. People that aren't well rested are the folks that sleep for 4 or 5 hours and then come home and then take an hour nap later. That's all fucked up shit. That's not good for you. And here's what I read. If you don't get more than 7 hours sleep on the regular, you have a 50% greater chance of getting dementia. Something like that, I was hearing. So
I had
13?
forgotten about that fact.
Dementia 13, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You're going to get that.
On Blu-ray or DVD? I didn't know. I might actually do that for a week if someone wants to send me the Blu-ray.
What were you saying, B? I think it was good.
It was
well,
good.
I was making a joke. I said I forgot about that fact, but but then Christian came in with the obvious Dementia 13 joke.
Oh, the obvious. Yes, it was an obvious Dementia 13. What I did was I steamrolled over you like I always do, and I apologize, B.
Hey,
your joke
it's
was
in the mail with Dave's Paranormal Activities.
Yeah. Every time, I got to tell you, every time I see Ryan Turk on the screen now, and he's in every freaking doc, if there's a horror documentary, he's on it.
Yeah.
I get mad for you, almost like the damn VHS groups, and I'm like, send the Paranormal Activity Blu-rays.
Really? That's all you got to do. That's all he would have had to do. I gave him a couple chances. The guy's got more money than fucking all of us combined, and he couldn't fucking find it in his heart to fucking take $15, $20 out of his pocket and fucking send a listener, or not a listener, because I wasn't at that time, send a patron of his fucking whatever the fuck he was doing, something that he offered me. I didn't fucking what I mean. He said, "Who wants this? I'm gonna send this away if you win." I won. I got fucking a stick up my ass. Get out of here.
It's a pretty good prize.
Speaking of that, it could be. It's better than piss on the balls. But check this. They did what I wanted them to do. Remember I caused that big thing when what's-his-name left, and I said something on the Twitter about, now if you can only get a show with just the two of them and not Ryan Turek, if he doesn't come back, it'd be great. That's why
you made a lot of fans. You made a lot of fans on that comment.
Right. Well, guess what? Turns out, motherfucker, I was right. Because they must have heard, and now they have a show. And the podcast they've been doing it since last year. I didn't know about it. But it's the two best ones. It's the people that I like. It's Becca and it's Elric Kane. And the two of them have a podcast. It's just that I forgot what it was called, but I listened. Oh, it's called what's it? Something of the dark. Colors of the Dark. That is their show. So they did do what I suggested they do. There's no fucking, obviously there's no Rob G because of the controversy, but there's no fucking Ryan Turek either.
What ended up happening with that? Nothing happen with it? Like, is there no controversy?
You got canceled
at the end of the day?
like anybody. All you got to do is accuse you and you get canceled now. We know that.
Yeah. He should start a podcast up with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. I think that's what didn't we say that's what he should, and you.
Oh yeah, because I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate for people that are falsely accused, or not falsely accused, but people that get accused of something and vilified automatically without it being proven if they've done it or not. That's why I'm passionate, because it happened to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you went back for seconds.
And thirds, and yeah. But that was just to prove it. If I was, you know what I'm saying? That was just okay, listen, people, I'm still going to do this. This girl said I was this and this. If I did this to her, why would she have me come back and do it again? You know what I mean? Obviously. Now, that wasn't the reason. That was like, reason like, Z. But reason A was just she was hot and I wanted to do my thing.
What?
Whoa.
You just changed that for all of us. Hey,
Look at that.
we're in a Coliseum.
What is this? Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if I like
I'm in
it.
Star Wars. I feel like I'm in Star
Who
Wars.
did this?
It's the Jedi
You-
Council.
Who did it? It had to be you, Brandon. No?
I didn't touch anything.
Mitchell, did you do this? It's fine if you did.
Wait,
Get him
did
off the
what?
show. Aren't you in the Coliseum with us? Aren't
I
you
don't
sitting
think
in
I
like a
did.
row of bricks? Dave's in the trees.
Forest
Mitchell's
for the
gone.
Mitchell's gone. I don't know what's going on
What
here.
the hell's happening here?
Only the people with the benefit of video.
Oh, that means
Hey!
bad. I don't know what
the
the.
hell?
This is together
Oh,
mode.
Did Mitchell do this by accident? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
Wait, what happened?
This is great. When you
Wait, what are you guys seeing?
You know,
We
we're,
were
all-
we're
we
in
were all
together
like-
mode.
yeah.
Oh, what the
Yeah,
hell?
together. I'll take a picture of it and send it to the group or something. He's like,
I'm not in. I went back into regular mode now, so that was weird.
Yeah.
Though, how it automatically
Mine
made us
says
all go.
grid view.
Hey,
Yeah.
here we go.
Where's B? Okay, there's 4 pieces. Okay, so wait a minute. I'm keeping it like this. I like it. I feel like I'm in like an important what do you call it? Like the Jedi Council or something.
In a
I went
shitty
back
Star
to
Wars
grid
movie.
Aww.
You know,
Any
it's
movie
crazy.
with the Jedi
Speaking
Council.
Star Wars,
Yeah.
I've never seen any of them.
Oh wow.
Don't start.
Not a single one.
Just no interest.
Yeah, like I mean, I know what they're about character-wise. I've seen, clips and videos, but yeah, they just never, for some reason, they just never caught my attention.
Hey,
Well-
what about Lord of the Rings? You into that?
No, never,
Okay.
no.
I wasn't
Harry
either,
Potter.
man.
Harry Potter, just because the wife made me watch them.
Okay. Did you like them?
The first 2, yes, and then after that, I felt like it was like the same thing regurgitated.
Wow. Interesting take. Wow. See, the first 2 for me are the most kid-like. And you may be right. Maybe they were regurgitating plot, and I didn't pick up on it. But for me, like the first 2 are the most childlike, and I love them all. It's my second favorite fucking franchise after Star Wars. So, but it seems like from part 3 and 4 and onward, they became more adult and more scary, more dramatic, things like that. It was like a different, you know what I mean? It's like that we grew with them. But
3 was the dark one, right? Prisoner of Azkaban? Was that 3?
yeah,
Yeah, that was dark.
Azkaban and the one after, they are all dark. They just kept getting darker. Yeah.
So
'Cause
dark I
remember-
couldn't even see them.
You better not go down
Play
this
with the
road.
contrast. This is fucked up. I wasn't a fan. I mean, if someone said, let's put on Harry Potter right now, I'd be like, really? Like, I have no interest. If it's on, I'll watch it, but I really wouldn't put it on by choice. Lord of the Rings, absolutely no interest to watch. And if
Wow.
I'm a Peter Jackson fanatic from his earlier films, I just did not get into Lord of the Rings and stuff at all. Or The Hobbit or any of those movies.
The Hobbit was fine. I only watched the first 2 and I liked it, but it was nowhere on the level of the original trilogy of the regular.
Never saw
Lord
the
of
Hobbit
Rings.
once. Saw the original trilogy. Probably will never watch it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Got to get back to the Star Wars. Haven't seen the new trilogy.
Oh, you got to see that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, some people would disagree, but I mean,
No, I eventually I'll probably like re-binge the whole series.
Yeah. Well,
it's good stuff. I like it all. I don't. I have
it's
no
a mixed
complaints.
bag. I realize that it is really just no different than what we mostly talk about, which is nostalgia. Because I'm finding that I just had this love for Star Wars growing up, but I realized that some of Rogue One and Force Awakens are great, and The Mandalorian is great, but I could take or leave everything else other than that original trilogy. And again, now I don't even feel like putting the original trilogy on that much anymore. I'm kind of
Wow,
Star Warsed out.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I almost watched Jedi last night. You know why? Because the first shot in fucking Maximum Overdrive is a complete fucking ripoff of the opening shot in Jedi. I was
The
like,
dead
holy
Ewok.
fuck.
A dead Ewok.
You know what I'm talking about, right? They show the thing at the top, and then right when it ends, they're in space, and it pans over, and it goes down to planet Earth. It's the exact same shot they do in Jedi when they show the fucking the Death Star being rebuilt.
I remember the guys at the command center, the Death Star, and says, "You're an asshole." And he goes, "Come over here, Honeybun. This machine just called me an asshole."
Darth Vader just called me an asshole.
There's a mash.
The Emperor just called me an asshole.
Honey, the Emperor just called me an asshole.
Oh, man.
That's
Should
awesome.
we get into one of them? Do we want to? We got 3, so we should probably get into one of them.
Yeah, we should get into
Well,
something.
we'll probably get into all 3 of them. That's what we normally do, Christian. But
Man, I'm so off the show.
all right, what do we want to start with?
You want to keep them in order? If we keep them in order,
What is the order?
would be Silver Bullet, Maximum Overdrive, Child's Play, right?
Okay, we could do that. That's fine. Let me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that works for me. Silver Bullet. All right, Silver Bullet from 1985. In a small town, brutal killings start to plague the close-knit community. Marty Koslaw, a paraplegic boy, is convinced the murders are the doings of a werewolf.
Right on.
Right
Do
on.
you guys feel like this movie's gained like some other movies that we've talked about on the show have gained more of a cult following and more of a positive response as time has gone on? Because
Yes.
I remember people thinking it was just okay, but I remember hearing more negative or feeling like I've maybe read more negative response to this film back in the day. And now more people are coming out saying it's great. And I'm one of them. Like, I've always liked it because I forget what story we've told on the show before, but this is one of the ones that I saw before I really became a horror fanboy. You know, like when you just saw sporadic ones, went to the neighbor's house, and I saw Nightmare on Elm Street, and another one was Silver Bullet. So this scared the shit out of me because I was still at that age, which is shockingly older than my son, and he can watch any of these movies and not really having to be afraid of them. But I was petrified, and this is another shining example. So I kind of hold it in a special place.
So first you were afraid, you were petrified.
Like that song.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Awesome. So I was afraid. I was petrified.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I had to.
That was awesome.
Did you survive?
I did, and the movie just like, you know, maybe not to the extent of a Friday the 13th, but like that, it stuck with me, and I love this movie more and more every time I watch it. Just watched it at Halloween time last year, and I watched it again this time, and my son watched it with me, and we had a blast. It is so fun.
It is so fun, and it gets better with each viewing I have. And the characters in this are so well written, and I love the monologue by the sister. It's just really presented really well.
Yeah, 100% agree. Are you guys okay? Can you hear me? Because it sounds like I froze.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, Dad.
We're cool. Mitchell was saying his thoughts, and then you started.
You're just like, hey guys, can you hear me? Mitchell's not talking.
I couldn't hear Mitchell though. That's the problem. So I'm not going to hear him on the recording. So what were you saying? Mitchell? Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's my fault. My error. The internet.
No, this is one of those ones that I said my dad wasn't into horror, but this is one of the ones he would watch. I think it was Gary Busey that had a big, probably the main reason he did watch it was because, you know, he was a big Busey fan. But I mean, just the whole movie itself, like, it's just amazing. Like the transformation scene in the church, and this is just a great movie. And then you have, you know, little Corey, and this is just everything I think speaks Stephen King.
Like,
You
this
know what?
makes you.
It is.
as a king, though, as a kid,
As a king, I am a king.
As a
Return of the
kid,
King.
what movie makes you want to be crippled? And I am not trying to make a joke out of this, but you're like, this is the movie because you're like, I get to start around. I get to start around in a motorcycle. I'm sorry.
You want to be crippled?
I gotta leave. I gotta fucking leave. Oh my
Great.
Dave's not recovering from this one.
I'm fucking crying. Oh my god.
Your reaction's making me cry. I guess I have to reword that. I don't mean it like I don't know how else to say it, but like you gotta dart around in that motorcycle. The silver bullet. I mean, the uncle made it. You're like, you want one of those. You're like, I wish I had one of those as a kid.
But you didn't have to lose the use of your legs in order to get in that thing and ride it.
Whew, okay, sorry. Whew. Holy shit. That was the greatest thing I ever heard him say. I'm sorry. Okay. Whew. Whew. Okay. I can't even think about it anymore. I can't even address the question because.
You mean that one little part of you is like, hey, I want that too.
Yeah, I want it, but I still want to be able to get out of it at the end and walk home.
He was doing just fine. The guy shimmied up his fucking house to get in and out of his window. He was fine.
That's SEAL training. That's Navy SEAL training he was doing. Just
I think it's because Dave can relate. I think Dave can relate to this. This is why his reaction was so strong.
It's funny.
I'm sorry, Dave.
If you think about it, too, it's probably the most dangerous wheelchair you can give a little kid. It looks like the thing goes 75 miles an hour.
He passes cars. My son turned to me and goes, Dad, he's passing cars. I'm like, yeah, he sure is. He sure is. But no, like everything you mentioned, this movie has atmosphere. And you like that whole scene when they're in like the forest, the swampy area, and the fog, and he's underneath the fog. It's fantastically done. I think that's the scene that freaked me out as a kid. The attack sequence there, and just and it's stood the test of time. I love that. I love how they filmed that.
Yeah,
Great
it
sequence.
Yeah, I agree with Mitchell on the dream sequence, the nightmare sequence, the transformation. That's probably the freakiest scene for me. Just everyone.
Oh, that made me mad.
Why did
That
it make you mad?
Me mad. Well, let me explain. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
What? What happened was this. First of all, let me say this. I didn't realize how Stephen King feeling this would be. I haven't watched this movie in a while, and I don't think I watched it in its initial run. I just don't think I was. I don't know why. Just I didn't watch it, and I think maybe in the last 10 years, like Christian was saying, there's been like a resurgence and people are talking about it and praising it. I'm pretty sure that Jamie has always really loved it. And I think I watched it maybe, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. And my takeaway was just, that was okay. And I remember telling you guys that this was the one that I wasn't all that looking forward to watching again. And that I thought it might have been kind of boring to me. That's what I took from it last time. This time around, it felt more King than ever. It felt like, small town and that stuff I like when he writes those characters in those small towns. But getting back to that, I got mad because these are my notes for that scene. I said, wow, is this real? ? Like I was hoping that the movie was going to turn into that from that fucking moment on at the time. I was like, wow, is this real?
You thought Corey was really crippled?
No, I get it. So you were mad that you didn't get more of that.
And I even said, I said, wow, is this real? Right? And then my next note is
Wow.
too far with the organ playing. I thought it was a little ridiculous when the werewolf was playing the orc. It reminded me of that scene from Dusk Till Dawn when the band is all of a sudden playing the body part. It doesn't fit in with the tone of the film. I hate if you could take those 5 seconds out of From Dusk Till Dawn, it's a 10 out of 10. But I can't stand that and I've heard JP agrees with me on that. I know that, but I don't like that. So I wrote that as too far. Huh?
A little too. I agree. A little too wonky.
It's too far.
A little too Freddy got fingered.
Yeah.
Like some sausage.
Daddy, would you like some sausage? And then at the end, my last note after that was, damn, of course it was a dream. But I thought the movie was turning into that. Like, all of a sudden, the town was going to be fucking ravaging with fucking werewolves everywhere. But again, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the film, but when you mentioned the dream, that's what it took me to. I was like, please let this be real. Because it went on for so long that I thought this has to be a dream. But it went on for so long, I'm like, fuck, this might be the movie. This is going to be great. But,
See, I don't know if the story, the werewolf story, explores, Reverend Lowe's story further, but I feel like this is like the most we get of his torment dealing with what he is.
Yeah,
yes.
And I think it still works within the realm of the movie, but not not giving it 100% away, because it's what this town is dealing with. So they're going to have nightmares, but it's a perfect foreshadowing of the fact that he is the monster. Spoiler. And the great thing about it is the reveal, the whole directing, and when he tells the story after the fireworks scene, which is great, the fireworks sequence, and he gets his sister to buy into it, and how she does the bottle collecting, and her telling the story, and then how they go in and sort of track into the shots of the people's eyes and everything. I love that whole sequence. And the reveal of the priest, it still works because, again, my son who didn't see the movie before, who watches like, when he said, he looked at me, and again, that makes me giddy because I knew it was coming, but to see his reaction when the camera came around, and he's just in the, sorry, Mitchell, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just said it's great. I just was finishing that. It was just a great feeling to see that reaction. Great? It was fantastic. At first it was great. Now it's fantastic.
At first I was afraid. I wished I was a cripple boy.
Oh, stop. Oh.
Okay. Since he brought that back up, Dave Z's probably the character in the movie where he's actually talking about the cripple, where he's like, they get all the great benefits. And then you see him, 10 minutes later, and he's watching wrestling. He's like, get him. He's like, get him.
I know he was NWA. He was watching.
Yeah.
His death scene's great. That's creepy
so
too.
Brutal.
Dude, that's the thing. All good kills in this movie.
Very good kills.
Remember, and now I could see. I'm surprised that this movie wasn't held in higher regard all this time instead of the resurgence. Because as I'm watching it this time, I got it. If I would have been watching this as a kid, because the lead characters are children, you know what I mean. So you're seeing it through their eyes. Yet it's also good in a horror way for kills, which you don't see that a lot. So I'm like, I could see how this movie would fit into like a Fright Night type category. But
I kind of wish that Tammy had stuck around.
Who's Tammy?
Who's Tammy again?
The girlfriend.
The little girl.
The little girl who was sort of like his girlfriend. Like, that's the father who gets killed. The one who makes that comment about the benefits and then is drinking and goes out and watching wrestling. I wish she had stuck around, because the young characters in this, like Marty's he's a good guy. Like, he's a good brother. He's a good friend. Like, when Brady dies, he's genuinely upset. He's upset over the way his sister feels neglected because he gets all the attention.
And kids die. You just mentioned it. And there's a kid death, and that's what freaked me out. Yeah, you might be following kid protagonists, but at the end of the day, there's no rhyme or reason. Doesn't matter if you're adult. Doesn't matter if you're a kid. You could get killed. And
dude,
and that's what's freaky.
And that scene with Terry O'Quinn finding the kite, and he's basically like he's reciting prayers, and he's just like in shock. And then the father showing up, and the whole speech with the father and the sheriff at the bar about private justice and stuff. Man, the acting and the performances in this are top notch.
It is. It's good. Even some of the stuff they throw in the background's kind of dark. Like the second woman that gets killed, was pretty much about to commit suicide
Yeah.
because the guy she's having an affair with, she found out she's pregnant. It's like even stuff like that, like throwing that in, like that's some pretty dark stuff. Like
Yeah. And then the Reverend even references that he kind of saved her by killing her at the end.
Yeah,
He saved her soul
from going to hell. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
really
Some cool
well
stuff.
done. I'm surprised this hadn't clicked for me earlier. I was always, lukewarm on it. I enjoyed it, but never to this extent where I'm like, wow, this is excellent.
Again,
so
I
it's the
always,
same thing.
Yeah, same exact thing.
It happened to you. This view.
This view, all of a sudden I'm watching it,
too.
I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm like, why was I at like a 7 before?
Isn't
Why
that
was this
weird?
just a 7 for me? This is an excellent film.
Well, for me, it always I'll say two things on that. From the werewolf standpoint, it was always American Werewolf as my benchmark, and I always went to The Howling, and then Silver Bullet, and I think now this might actually take over The Howling as my second favorite werewolf movie. But
And your first favorite vampire movie.
and my first favorite vampire movie. But the point I wanted to make too is I've referenced this again. I believe it was on this show in another episode. But if you're a fan of Friday the 13th, A New Beginning,
God.
the soundtrack, there are soundtrack cues in this movie that remind me of that film. They're or whatever. It is, every time I hear it, I think Friday the 13th, A New Beginning.
And
if you
Pseudo
wa-
Echo did that song. There's a boy with no feeling in his legs.
You got a case of the bad leg.
Yeah, you got. I wrote that down.
You
You got a case of them bad legs.
Man. But anyway, yeah, it's, if you're a fan of New Beginning, which I've watched that movie so many times that I can't not unhear it. So every time that soundtrack kicks in this movie, it just reminds me of A New Beginning, which is great because it's a great little stinger, if you will. The other thing is the end. It ends up kind of ending on a weird note with a memoir. So are we to understand that maybe Marty's dead at this point? Because she words it, her last line, and it's funny because my daughter came at this point too, and my son had been watching it with me, and so then they both asked, "Oh, so he died?"
They kind of fucked up the whole narration thing, as far as I'm concerned, by having her even do it. And that's one more problem with it. And I thought about that because in the beginning, it has that Stephen King small town feel, and you have a narration, which we've seen before in his movies, but it's like you see a lot of it in like the first, in the first act. Then all of a sudden, there's fucking nothing for like more than half the movie. And it was almost like jarring when all of a sudden random narration came back, and I was like, oh yeah, this movie is being narrated. I think that
To a certain degree, I agree. Yeah. With
Yeah,
the bottle
and then
drive. It was the bottle drive. She starts back in, I think. And we hadn't heard
Yeah.
narration for a while. So
I disagree. I think it works really well.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like some of the narrating, like even when he goes to get the silver bullet made, like I love that whole part, how she says how like the guy is a master craftsman and he's just some old timer, and he's just like, oh, you need a silver bullet for a werewolf.
yeah. And you could have figured he knows what's going on in a sense just from that one line.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
I'm not against the narration.
I
I disagree
enjoy it, right?
with Dave that there was a
Thank
lull
you.
for a bit of
Right.
the movie with no narration. So it was a bit jarring. You're like, oh yeah, she's narrating this. But then on top
Right.
of that, at the end, it's like wrapped up as a memoir almost. Like,
Right.
and
It might
that's
be.
why
she's older. They're
Yeah.
older. You don't know how old she could be. 80 years old. They're 4 years apart. Maybe Marty died in his 70s. Maybe Marty died young. Who knows? But the whole point is they had a complicated relationship because Marty got most of the attention because of the fact that he's in a wheelchair, and she struggled with that, and she struggled with it a long time, and she did love him. Obviously, she says she loves him at the end when they're kids, but she was able to finally really say, I love you, I love everything about you at the end. And that was sort of like,
and that might be what all it is the fact
Yeah.
that she's able to say I love you, but the way it's done, it almost sounds like I love you now that you're gone. And I've always loved you, but and or something. Not now. The way I worded things is not now that you're gone, but because in her sort of memory of him, she could always say that I love you. But again, it could be as simple as what Brandon said. I might just be overthinking it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying it seemed a little. I enjoyed the narration. I just didn't. I thought it was jarring when all of a sudden it went away for a while and it came back, and then what happened at the end had me questioning it. That's all. I'm not knocking it. I enjoyed it. I wish it would have stayed the course throughout the film more, or I don't know. It just seemed a little odd. But I'm glad it was there. Just a minor complaint. And speaking of dying young, this is what's confusing to me. Not confusing, but. Am I to believe? What year is this? 86?
76.
Right? Okay. No. When this movie was made, it was made in 86.
Oh,
it takes place in the 60s, right?
76.
76. Okay. it was made in 86. That's what I thought you said, but okay.
No, it was made in 85 or 84.
Oh, was it? Okay, then I am mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought this was 1986.
It came out in 85, I think.
Okay,
Maybe I'm wrong. Jesus, let me
85, buddy. Came out in 85. It seems odd to me. Not odd, but it just seems weird that 2 years later, and again, I could be wrong about this number too. Usually I'm on top of this stuff, but the Lost Boys, I want to say, came out in 87.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
You're
Okay.
right.
It just, he does not seem like the same kid in this movie as in Lost Boys. When I picture, because it's him, right? Corey Haim is the young kid in Lost Boys, correct?
Right.
And
That's because
watching
Lucas
this
happened
movie,
right after this. Too soon?
Oh.
because Lucas happened, because he was in the movie Lucas.
It's a really poor taste joke. Let's move on.
I don't think he got it.
Okay, so
Lucas
anyway.
is 86.
Oh, there you go. It happened right after this. So he
Yeah.
went from that movie to Lucas to the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
He just doesn't seem like the same person to me. It's weird. He doesn't seem like the same kid. Like, I'm watching this movie expecting it to be like the little kid in Lost Boys, and I'm like, wow, that's Corey Haim. I
No,
wouldn't
there's a
guess-
real sense of innocence here.
Yeah.
You're right. And I made that joke in poor taste, but Lucas was 86, and then so if what happened, it would change a person.
Yep. So it actually makes sense for the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just
Yeah,
meant like the way
crazy.
he looked, but yeah.
Well, obviously
I guess-
he got older and he looks
I know
older.
that. Obviously.
And yeah, and we don't get to see him walk around in Silver Bullet, you know? He's
True.
literally
Because he got them
sitting
bad
down the
legs.
whole time. He's the bad legs.
This is true.
A
You
boy
know what's
could dream.
funny about this? I kept thinking of other movies as I was watching this. Part 5, yes, I was thinking of the soundtrack cues, okay? Black Christmas, when he was climbing the cellist on the outside with the fuck out to the window, POV style. It was totally the fucking Black Christmas scene. I was like, wow, look at this. All right. Halloween 4, later on
happened
with
to
the
Billy?
Halloween 4 situation with the hillbillies fucking getting, going into their own justice to go out and kill the fucking baddie. And
Private
then,
justice.
You don't have a police force. These men may be the only guys you have. The only hope you have.
oh, could you imagine? I think this movie would have been better if Loomis was in it. Oh, that'd be great. Imagine Loomis in this movie.
You're
Oh,
evil
yes.
Turkish
on
Loomis.
4 legs.
I am talking about evil on 4 legs. Yeah. A werewolf that walks on all 4s.
He had the darkest
Silver
eyes.
Bullet.
A werewolf eyes. Yeah.
You need a
Shot him
silver
6
bullet. Amazing. But something else, which Dr. Chenard, when Terry O'Quinn, when his kid got killed and he was crying, he sounded like Dr. Chenard. Did anybody pick up on this?
No.
Okay, well, this is what I'm here for. Listen. Wasn't that fucking Chenard?
Sounds like he was peeing on his own balls.
Oh, and it was painful. Oh.
I feel my own balls.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
That sounds like Chenard.
See, I knew you would think it. Yeah.
And the original title for this film was Wolfman's Got Chenards.
That was the joke of the show.
No, the joke of the show is still your wheelchair comment.
Yeah, because it wasn't meant to be funny, but it was so bad it's good. It was maximum overdrive.
Dude, Christian, did you notice? And it makes sense and it's fine and it's justifiable because it was a dream sequence. But when he's having the nightmare scene at the funeral right before they transform and they're singing Amazing Grace, you notice they're davening?
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I would have been a little upset if there wasn't a dream sequence at that point because they were going amazing. Like stand still. I think I was getting dizzy watching it. I'm like, oh holy shit! Just can't you sing standing still? Like who does that?
What? You're gonna make fun of Stevie Wonder now? The fuck?
Amazing Grace, Stevie, sit still.
Ha ha! Very funny, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, it has a wooden leg with a kickstand. Explain that joke to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Who said that joke again?
That's Eddie Murphy from the same.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Right. So he said he has a wooden leg with
Your
a
mother
kickstand?
has a wooden leg with a kickstand or something like that. It's like very funny, motherfucker. Mother has a wooden leg with a kickstand or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
I laugh, but I'm like, what am I laughing at? It's just his delivery there because I actually don't get the joke.
Right.
She can't stand up straight, so she has to.
I know a man with a wooden leg named Smith. Okay, I was waiting. I was waiting for someone to chime in with, really? What's the name of his other leg?
oh.
It's an old Mary Poppins joke. Sorry. Go see Mary Poppins.
A Mary Poppins joke on this crew.
I love Mary Poppins, the original. Yeah. All those early fucking Disney musicals with cartoon people coming in and shit, like Pete's Dragon. All them things. Oh, man.
Pete's Dragon.
That's when Disney was fucking king. Anyway, sorry. Wooden leg. Shinar. I don't know. I don't even know.
Wolfman's got Shinards.
And I didn't realize it was Terry O'Quinn until the Amazing Grace scene. It was fucking weird. I was watching that scene in the church. I'm like, wait a minute, that's fucking Terry O'Quinn. Yeah, it didn't register.
Didn't register in the opening credits when it says starring Terry O'Quinn.
No. I knew he was. I saw him in the opening credits. I forgot about it once the movie began, and then what happened. The same thing happened to me with that one flick, but I was looking for him. I was Shadow of the Vampire.
The stepfather? Like, where is he? All I see is his damn stepfather. Where's Terry O'Quinn?
When I watch Shadow of the Vampire in the opening credits, I see fucking Willem Dafoe, right? Who's basically become my favorite actor now. So I'm watching, and I'm fucking halfway through the movie. I'm like, where the fuck is Willem Dafoe? I can't. Honestly, if you've seen the movie, you know who it is. But I mean, that just goes to show you what a great job he did, because I didn't even know that was going to be him. And if you haven't seen Shadow of the Vampire, please do.
I have not seen it, but I know who Willem Dafoe plays, and I got to see it soon, I guess.
Well, now you're going to be looking for it, so it's different. It's kind of like when C watched Promising Young Woman. He already knew that it was up for awards, so he watched it and said, "Oh yeah." You know what I mean? Or when I watched it,
I don't think I watched it when I knew it was up for awards.
Oh, I thought you said on the show that you knew.
Well, I don't know. When did I watch it? Well, when did the Academy Awards get? I don't even know. I found out after I watched it. When did the Academy Award nominations happen? I don't even know.
It's okay. It's only a joke. I'm just
malfunctioning.
No, I don't even know when the awards were announced. Probably a while ago, I'm assuming.
I saw it. Was it when were the awards?
Well, I don't even know.
No,
I saw it when Lacey Lou mentioned it. She said it was a great movie. So whenever Lacey Lou mentioned it was a great movie, is when I ended up watching it.
Right.
And so I don't know when that was. But I don't know when they announced the Academy Awards.
Before the nominations. You did, because you talked about it long before. But I was upset that Dave broke you.
Yeah, no, but I just, because I was like, maybe I did, but I don't remember. So it's whenever Lacey Lou mentioned it on the page.
Right. That's
'Cause she
why I
said it
wrote
was a
it
good
down.
movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it was
That's
part of
funny
my
enough.
fringe catch-up. But I didn't know that it was fucking new. You know, and I thought it was from last year still. Either way, I'm just joking anyway because more people err on your side in that discussion anyway. So it doesn't matter. And I understand it now.
I gotta see that one as well.
Oh, you should definitely see it.
Oh, I
see
definitely
it.
want to. Yeah, I just haven't gotten to it
I
yet.
feel like we got way off track of this film now. But
Yeah, we did. We need Mitchell, bring us back. Talk about the movie. You picked it. Why did you pick this movie? What's special about this one for you?
Just everything, like pretty much what we've covered. Just just that old feeling. The dread, the darkness. Like even when he's shooting the fireworks, like right before that, like you said, the music cues, and then it shows the wolf coming in kind of slow, and he would have precision aiming and would hit him in the eye, but other than that, it's just perfect. Like, just the uncle, his uncle tying him, you couldn't have fireworks last month, so you're going to be able to have them this month. And, he's just trying to make everything right. And, that basically what leads him to the werewolf.
And you believe them.
True.
You believe, like, the uncle is in disbelief, but you are along with his journey in the sense of like everything that they do a good job of getting his sister on board and then them getting their uncle on board. So like I buy it, and
the uncle's not really on board till the end,
Right.
but he is very believable. And now we
he
learned
believes it. Yeah,
we learned where Gary Busey got his brain damage from, being tossed around by that werewolf at the end.
Oh yeah, how
got
about when he
abused.
ran into a mirror? He ran into a mirror for no. It was a bad edit. I will say that. Not to shit on the movie because I really enjoyed it, but the edit was done weird. All of a sudden, the werewolf was there and he was running and he was like kind of like standing next to. It was just a weird cut, and it looked to me like the fucking guy, the stuntman probably, just ran into the fucking mirror without actually being thrown. It was a weird cut the way it was shot. I was like, what? I had to rewind it the one time, but that's the heart of the movie though. Getting back to him, the uncle, and the kid. That is a great relationship. How he stands up for him, how he understands him more than his own mother does, and everything else, and how importantly he puts down the bottle just like that. You see him reach for the bottle in church after he has the discussion with his wife, or pardon me, with his sister. Then he sets it down, and then he never touches another drop the rest of the movie because of the shit that she gave him. And he did that for his nephew. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
but I get it because sometimes you got to wash down the Eucharist. It's so dry, you just need like a little chaser. Yeah.
Kid Eucharist?
The best thing.
That should have been a Christian game for Nintendo. Right.
I like how the wolf got Kill Billed as well. He got he got the firecracker in the eye, and he ended up getting shot in the other eye. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love gimmicks like that. That part in Kill Bill is great, which ends up taking out the other eye. Fantastic.
No doubt about it. She leaves her there fucking alive, too. Doesn't even kill her. It's better just to fucking leave her that way. Blind.
Straight up with a crazy snake in there. Like,
Right. The snake. Now there's
Anyway.
a masterpiece. Ooh, fuck.
Well, any other points before we wrap her?
Rapper. Hardly
Wrap
know
her
her.
up.
What was he talking about when he said there's been no complaints of poisoned pen pals? I didn't get that fucking joke or that reference.
in this one?
Yeah, he was talking to his it was one of the theories that the nephew had about something. Well, he was right on, but when he was having a discussion with his uncle, I forgot what it was because I feel like I blinked and missed something. But he goes, "Yeah, I checked with so and so." He goes, "There's been no complaints of poisoned pen pals." He said. I didn't know what.
They sent the messages to the priest, and I guess they wanted to find out if there was any complaints. Thinking if somebody was falsely accused of something, they may have gone to the police and said, "Hey, I'm getting these letters."
Yeah, because they're writing to him like a pen pal would.
Yeah,
okay.
To get him
So
to
I think-
himself.
Pardon?
It's toxic what they're doing. They're writing to him and basically saying, "We know who you are." So it's toxic.
Kill yourself. So kill yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then since there's no complaints, maybe there's some truth to the fact that like he might be hiding something, or there might be something hidden. I mean that's what I would assume it's all about.
No, that's fine. He could have said offended pen pal. Got it.
Dave,
more.
did you laugh at the guy in the woods who's like, I can't move.
Yes, they did.
You gonna make lemonade in your pants? You gonna lemonade all over your balls?
Yeah, he lemonade in his balls.
Oh.
The other
I
thing
thought
was
it
that
was
they
a
put
little
anthrax
goofy.
on the notes too. I don't know.
I
Maybe
thought
that
it was
is.
a little anthrax. Little Scotty in on there. I thought it was goofy when the werewolf took the peacemaker. Oh, you just got the anthrax joke?
You know, the Scotty. Yeah, it was good.
You just got it. Nice. The werewolf took the peacemaker?
The baseball bat. And he started.
Oh.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of the dude with it.
Yeah. You've got claws, buddy. Got claws and fangs, but he wants to use the peacemaker. It's still cool, but yes, I wondered
It was
why.
something different, though. And now it's a way to show a different type of gore.
It was
Let's
goofy,
show
but I
something-
liked it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I'm just saying it was. I think it was an intentional sort of like comic relief. Like, oh, here's a werewolf beating the shit out of some guy with a baseball bat.
Or maybe there's enough man there that he knows what he's doing.
Oh, there's
and
enough
stuff.
man here. All right.
He's not total beast.
What about if the Reverend, when he changes back to human, didn't have the injured eye? So when you see him, when Jane finds him, he's fine. But then when she falls into the cans and finds the peacemaker, that's when you realize something's up. Because they almost have like that double reveal. Because she doesn't see he doesn't see the eye. We see the eye.
Wow.
And she falls and finds
Well,
the bat.
that's the reveal for us is that, which is a great cinematic reveal, and then
Would've
the
been
cans is for her. Yeah,
True.
You know what? It would have been better
You're
if he
right.
was wearing sunglasses. So we didn't get the reveal either. Then she falls, finds the bat, and then he comes in, pulls his sunglasses down, and's got the fucking duct tape all over his eyes. It was a really lousy
tape.
job.
Duct tape.
Masking tape, the scotch tape, whatever.
Oh, yeah, he did. Later on, he had the eye patch. That's right.
Yeah.
Showed him a second time.
Why
with the eye
not?
patch.
Why not? The camera pans by and he still has the firecracker in his eye, and he's just standing there going, "I wish I pulled this out." Like, what? What difference does it make? He's like, I should have pulled this out.
Yeah.
I didn't. I never thought of it. It's just still in there. Roman candle. One last one shoots out. That's how she realizes.
No, all of a sudden it explodes. You know how those bottle rockets, they go up, and then sometimes they whistle and explode, and other times they don't explode.
like a
They just
dud,
whistle
yeah.
up. Yeah, because they say report. Because they used to say, we used to get fireworks in the 80s, on the side it would say, whistling moon traveler. And then the other one would say, whistling moon traveler with report.
That
And
sounds
with
like a
report,
really racist term. You can't call someone a whistling moon traveler. He's just an old whistling moon traveler. I'm sorry.
that's fucking funny. Oh.
Oh shit!
Anyway, I don't even. You know what I thought was really cool? The end, the reverse, when the reverse transition.
Yeah.
I thought that was the best transformation of the whole movie. It was just done in reverse, but I mean, the makeup effects on it and the way
Yeah.
it looked. That was great.
It's almost
man.
like they knew. Okay, we can't one up. Maybe what was already done in The Howling and American Werewolf, so we'll do the reverse one because they show the snippets of the transformation, especially in the church and whatever. But that was the best way to do it. We're going to show him turning back to a man.
And the
it-
same
you're
year
right,
as
it was
Fright
good.
Night, which also did that
Yeah, true.
with evil.
What do you
And
say,
that
Kenny?
priest, even the priest is
Knievel.
such casted perfectly.
Yeah, Everett
Yeah.
McGill, he's a good actor.
People
Yeah.
under the stairs.
People
I know, I was-
Twin
I was waiting for him to bust out his leather outfit,
Yeah.
his chaps, and turn into the
Oh,
gimp.
that's him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's him.
Shit. Wow, I didn't realize that was the same guy from People Under the Stairs. I didn't. Again, I only
He's
saw
pretty
it.
unique looking. Yeah.
It just didn't register, as usual with me. Oh well. Okay. Well, anybody got anything else? I'm curious about these ratings. How high are people going to come in? Is the question. Because it seems like everybody. For me,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. No. Guess first. No. Guess first. Let's.
I mean, obviously, I love this movie. It's a solid 10 for me. all the way.
Nice.
Nice.
Just yeah, you just like you guys said, the music, the dread, the characters, the gore, like it, like you, if you can go on a checklist, you can slowly just go 1, 2, just everything is just perfect.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm a 9. I've always I've been at the 8 range, maybe gone to 9. Like I said, flip flops between The Howling and this, and I think now this has secured the second spot. My second favorite werewolf film. Awesome movie.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an 8.5. I came up. I would say I was like where B was. Last time I watched it, I would probably have it in the 7 range. I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's kind of boring here. I had a different experience this time. So 8.5 for me. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually came up a little higher. I'm actually at a 9 now. But probably 7.5 in the past. Whereas this time I'm watching, I'm like Mitchell says, it just checks all the boxes for things that I look for in a good horror movie, especially the characters. Yeah, it has all the things that you want in a horror movie, but really well-written characters. Every single one.
Does that mean it gets in the Hall of Fame with Mitchell's, yours, and my
it
rating?
does.
It does.
Yeah,
Hall of Famer.
That's right.
There we go.
Mitchell has secured a spot in the Hall of Fame with his vote. Yeah.
Honestly, if you give it 9.5, I might have come up to 9.5 just to put it in there because it really is a super solid werewolf film.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely is. Yep. For sure. We'll do it now. Oh, no, we'll do it live. What am I fucking saying?
We'll do it now. You're just saying something random. I don't know
what I'm saying. I thought it was something, but that's okay. We make up our own catchphrases on the show. It's fine.
We do. Why is this all flickering? Okay.
So what's next? Maximum Overdrive?
All right. We'll do it now.
We'll do it now.
That's an inside joke. The newest inside joke.
See, we started it early. We'll do it now. See how it begins.
All right. Maximum Overdrive is 1986, written and directed by Stephen King. A group of people try to survive when machines start to come alive and become homicidal.
Great.
I feel like we talked about this. Was it on 22 Shots? Or did we do a mini review of this at one point?
I talked about it once. I think I did it as a triple R, or maybe.
Triple R.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we
Remember
did it
those?
as a mini.
Yeah, triple R.
Was
it Triple R?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
We got to go to Mitchell. I love it. Thank you, Mitchell. Perfect. And I mean, we talked about it earlier in the show a little bit, and that was my experience. Mitchell, you kind of said that was similar to your experience with it as well. I don't know, it's such a weird movie. I gotta say, and this is my comments because that's why I know we talked about it, because I've said this before, I know it's a bad movie. I know that this movie's absolutely insanely bad, yet it's so enjoyable. Somehow they made it really enjoyable. The thing that keeps us from being the ultimate so bad it's good is that I think it just lacks a climax. So the second half of the movie is not nearly as good as the first half of the movie.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the end, it kind of just like you said, it just ends. Like there's no answer. Like
yeah,
it even tries to do the little dialogue at the end, but even then, like do something like, even if you would have wrote 15 minutes more, it could have changed like the whole. Just everything as the movie, like you said, the beginning, the middle, everything's perfect until they make the run out of the Dixie Boy. That's when it falls apart.
They just literally get out, shoot another rocket, which we've already seen 1,000 times already up to that point. They should have had a bunch of trucks coming at them, because we saw a ton of trucks, and it still could have been led with that, and it could have been this big chase almost, and then the guy turns around and they cheer, and they're like, well, they're still going to keep coming, and then they get on the boat and go. But they needed something more, and it's just so anticlimactic.
Yeah, it just
AC/DC saves the day, because you're just like, oh, this is a good song, so you forget that the movie was had no climax almost.
What, Paul's balls?
Yeah, Paul's
Balls.
For me, I'm torn on this movie because I feel like should it should be even more trauma-esque over the top, or should they maybe develop some of the characters more, like the way Silver Bullet does? So I almost
it
like
tries to. Yeah, it
right?
tries
So
to, but then
it's almost like I want to see a version where they go that way, they go the other way with it, and then then it would be more fleshed out one way or the other. But I feel like this movie would be prime for a remake.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they did that TV version of Trucks, which that's not it. I want like a true blue remake. And this was on, again, one of my golden wish lists because I watched this so much as a kid that I wanted an uncut version. And there's no way I'm going to spend $51 Canadian on the Vestron or whatever it is, like Blu-ray, when it's the same old cut that we've always had. Like that's just a ripoff to me. Like at least have, if they can't reinstate the footage, at least have like what we usually get in these, which is like an extra of like the uncut kills or something.
Yeah, that's what you guys mentioned on the Triple R episode, episode 42, by the way.
Look at this kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rain Man over here.
Yeah, the encyclopedia.
You guys said that like the soda machine kill was supposed to be way more graphic.
His
Like
head.
you said, supposed to hematoma out or something.
Yeah.
Like even seeing that, like that would have been cool. Like I mean, what it does show, like the circle and the blood, it's still crazy. Like they have them twitch and stuff, but
That's a good name for a band. Hematoma Out.
Hematoma
Go out.
That could be a good way to
steamroller.
say goodbye.
No,
Like,
but
you know
that
that
scene-
steamroller
that
went
scene
like
in
one extra
that
frame.
Scene in general, like if they redid it now, like it's awesome when it kills the coach, but like then
The
it's
kid.
just like the kids. It's like
crunch.
oh, when he gets run over though, the kid gets run over. By
See, that's great because they didn't
That's
make it
great.
goofy.
No, it did seem
See,
goofy
that's
though
what I'm
because
saying.
kids
It's
were
not
like
goofy. But listen to me. Let me say this.
very.
This would have been goofy. It would have been so bad it's good. No, let me strike that from strike that. It would have been too much.
Straight from the record.
People would have liked it though. For me, if they would have showed like a flattened out boy, but the fact that they didn't. See, if you're gonna make it nowadays, like a fucking, you know how nowadays they try to make movies that are so bad, or something that you might see in the Greasy Strangler or fucking Psycho Gorman or something. That's when it would be too much.
They don't like Psycho
They would
Gorman.
show the
Mitchell.
fucking thing go over, and then they would show like a fucking a deflated fucking air mattress version of this boy below.
No, I just wanted his head. You could tell that his head was about to just go boom like a watermelon at the camera, but they cut away from it right at the point of impact. Sorry, my nose is.
Yeah, and like
always
one
itchy
kid
when I
gets
do
hit
this
in the
show.
foot. One kid gets hit in the foot with a soda can and he drops dead. Like it's like
That's funny. Oh, I don't think they're dead.
like ow, you
They're
stubbed my
dead.
toe. I'm gonna drop dead.
You think the insinuation is death?
I think you
because
got
they get
knocked
hit with
out.
cans?
all those kids are dead without a
Oh, yeah.
doubt. They're dead. They're
I
dead.
never even thought, and that thought never occurred to me for a second that when they're running away and they got hit with cans, that they're dead from it.
Oh, 100% they're dead.
Yeah.
What?
They are dead. Like
Well, that's even okay, honestly.
That's
If
it.
this movie, well, listen, this is what if this movie would have been the first act of this movie, and I probably said this last time, the first act of this movie might be the best representation of so bad it's good, also mixed with horror, like genuine horror, that it could have been the fucking one of the greatest movies ever. But that gimmick after the first act goes away and it becomes a fucking siege narrative, almost like a low grade Tremors. Of people, instead of fighting fucking these things, they're fighting Tremors, they're fighting circling trucks. But what happens in the first 30 minutes, in my opinion, maybe 20, is fucking gold. I just wish the entire movie would have been that fucking gag because it was so good.
I like it, Dave. I can't disagree with you. The drawbridge opening is super cool, and you can tell. Like I know death by watermelon. I thought that woman always died by the watermelon, but then you see her getting out of the car and slipping on it a few times. Too. Is this King? I don't know if this was the cocaine or what, but there were some decisions that were made in editing. And so, like, I hope they weren't snorting off the editing console too, because some of the stuff could have maybe been fixed and edited. Where it's just like they had the asshole, you're an asshole. This machine just called me an asshole. And then they had to double down on the joke. And it was like asshole. Like, I get it. It was funny. I liked it as a kid. So look at it now. It's another asshole. The fuck you twice.
I love
We get it. I get it. I like it too. But I'm saying one time was fine. You were an asshole. Done. Fuck you. Done. But they repeat it. And it's almost like he had no faith in the audience to get the joke, or they might not notice it. We might have to double up on that. And again, I'm reading into it from watching this movie so many freaking times as well. But those are like sort of nitpicks there. The drawbridge scene is pretty good. I got some editing problems there, but them being held up at the Dixie, whatever it's called, I
Dixie
like
Bowl.
all of that. Yeah, I love that. I love it as a setting. I agree with Brandon. If they just develop their characters a little bit more, they've got the start of it, but then they abandon all that, and then they can't even stay true because the cars are okay, but the trucks are. Again, they should have somehow made, and then some cars are affected. Like it doesn't even follow its own rhyme or logic.
Oh,
That's
Jesus,
the problem
I never
with it too.
thought of that.
Like,
How come some
That's
cars
what
are
I was going to
okay?
say later. Or the boats.
Like-
the boats at the
Yeah.
end that they were so worried about getting on. Why wouldn't the fucking boat attack them and not let them
Well,
ride it? Or wouldn't the boats come
there's-
after them?
That's
Dang.
exactly it. There's no logic
You know?
throughout the whole
Right.
thing. So you've got to somehow set the boundaries of what is going to be the logic of the stupidity, but then stick with it throughout. And you're right. And so some cars
is
are fine,
true.
some cars are not. The boats are okay. Some electronics are going crazy. Some can hypnotize people, then shoot electricity through them like that arcade game. Yo,
Oh,
mama.
God.
Great
Yo, mama.
scene. I love that scene.
Oh, that's
yeah.
so goofy.
Mama. It's funny. See,
That's
but it was
awesome.
more enjoyable to me than people sitting inside a building and circling trucks. Circling trucks to me aren't scary or funny. What this movie should have been, they had a great idea in the third act. They had the drawbridge, which was actually scary until they started doing goofy stuff, but it was okay because it was funny. Like that guy would really go far out, man. Of course he wouldn't do that. That was written to be funny. So King intentionally wrote the comedy into this. People want to say it's so bad it's good, and there are instances of that, but that was done with intent. But it was okay. But what happens in the first act when the story is just about devices coming to life, the electric knife, that's fucking badass. Shit like that, the video games, that is great. When all of a sudden they abandon all that and it just turns into fucking circling trucks, to me it's boring. It could have been so much better if every other electronical device was attacking them. That would have been fucking brilliant.
And Emilio got sucked into the arcade game at the end of this one.
Yeah. Yeah, nightmares. Might as well at that point.
That guy
It's-
didn't think to get out of there. He's like, I got to get every pack of cigarettes in my shirt.
And all the change.
And then he puts a cup of coffee in there. Did you know he put a cup of coffee
Yeah,
in it?
yeah, like just the last little thing. No, that's good comedy, but that's funny comedy, and
It's
like the
funny,
fact
but
that they have got the. Sorry, it's funny,
It
but
works to me.
I was gonna say it's
What?
funny, but if it played out more like the way a Final Destination does, where it's darker and serious in tone, like this would be terrifying and
But
violent.
the aren't. That's this. Okay, so you guys don't agree with me when you don't think it would be better if they just continued. If trucks didn't become the main focus, circling trucks were the focus of the whole movie instead of all these other electronical. Don't you think it was better and more exciting when everything else was fucking attacking
in a
them?
broad scope of seeing like what they would do in a zombie apocalypse movie now, where they're showing you everything that's happening around the world. Sure, that would be great, but I like the idea of not knowing that. Maybe they want to find out, but of course, because the TVs won't work because they can control that. I think it's great that it's just on this group of people. The downfall is they didn't have enough material. So you're right, the circling trucks becomes repetitive. So they have to go on a rescue mission. And that's where they get the kid. And then, at least they try to divvy it up a little bit and they try to make it a bit more exciting. Then they're like, okay, let's make a run for it. Well, why didn't you make a run for it 2 days before?
I
They
agree
wedge in
with
a
Dave.
love
I
scene.
would have stayed the whole time.
I
Yeah.
agree with you, Dave. I agree with you, Dave, in a sense, especially in the beginning, because like when they start showing you, especially when the kid's driving through town,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, like the ice cream
sprinklers?
truck. I want to see the ice cream truck run over a bunch of kids and shoot fudgesicles up their ass. I want to see that.
Yes.
Like, how awesome would that be? I want to see that police car toy drive into the dog's mouth. I need to see that. That dog's like got a police car toy in his mouth. I need to
It's
see
even
what
going
happens.
off.
Yeah, it's still the siren. I gotta see what happens.
Well, now we've got this. Like you could remake it with like all like technology of
Yeah.
whatever. But again, they don't know. It does have to be plugged in. Does it not? Obviously, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
plugged in because they got motors going, and then they've got that roast beef cutter that just goes ape shit. There's a lot of other
It's an
electronical things
electric
in that.
knife.
It shows the girl strangled through the window with the hairdryer.
Yeah. How did the
well,
hairdryer cord do
Yeah.
like, I mean, when you really think of that, like it's a cool visual because it's an after effect, but then it's still pretty fucking stupid. The sprinklers go on.
I want to see it. I want to see that. I want to see even at the end of the film when they get to the boatyard and they find the woman who got her head stuck in the window. I need to see that. I need to see that.
It's better stuff because the suspense.
You don't want to see that. You think you want to see that, but then it's the Greasy Strangler, or whatever, or a trauma movie because it's showing you the goofy stuff. You'd be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but this wasn't done goofily. That's what I'm trying to say. The kills weren't goofy. When it came time for the kills, they were done straight up. Even with the kid being run over. If it was goofy, they would have showed some stupid aftermath of a cardboard kid or a mattress kid, something for laughs. But they didn't play the kills for laughs. That's the difference. This is the type of horror comedy I enjoy when the kills themselves aren't goofy. They're fucking scary kills. That's
well, I mean,
shit.
he knew he was making a goofy movie. I mean, he admitted it at the time. But
That's
it
fine,
is
but
the premise itself is it is stupid. Like, and in the end of the day, they started with, and this is I've never really clicked into this because I've just taken it for what it was. I never really thought anything deeper because I didn't think you had to. Where it says that they're in the tail of the comet. So the explanation didn't matter because they're in the tail of the comet for the 7 days or 8 days or whatever. So all this craziness is happening within there. But then at the end, like what Mitchell was saying, they throw on that other title card and they throw all this other like they say suddenly there's a Russian satellite that just happened to be armed. So I guess they're trying to allude to the fact that this Russian satellite was ready for the
Cold War,
nuclear war. But then they shot down a UFO. So are they trying to say it wasn't the tail, and then all of a sudden, then 4 days later they were out of the tail of the comet. So was it the tail of the comet, or was it this UFO and something otherworldly and supernatural or alien that was doing it?
Don't you use comet to bleach your assholes?
Yeah, it's clean as a whistle. But I don't get that ending was weird. I mean, they threw way too much information into that one little sentence or one paragraph or whatever. It was brutal. It was just so stupid.
You don't need it. Even the thing at the beginning is stupid that they give you the fucking exact time and dates I think I took a picture of it because none of that is needed. It's like this. It's like when they do it. There's a couple of Star Wars movies where they, especially Phantom Menace, where they over-explain it. But by the time you're done with the first paragraph, you're fucking scratching your head. You're like, what the fuck are you saying? But this is what literally it says in the beginning. It says it's so fucking much. It says the date. This happened at 9:47 a.m. Eastern time. This happened. Rogue comet. According to astronomical calculations, the planet would remain in the tail of the comet for the next 8 days, 5 hours, 29 minutes, and 23 seconds. Is all that fucking necessary?
Yeah.
It's just none of that's needed. And then at the end, it makes you more confused than when you start. And again, to me, when there was a line said in the movie when the girl comes up with the idea, okay, this is the tail of the comet. It's good. We're going to be okay. We only have 7 more days. Or whatever the fuck she says. Right then and there. I'm Emilio Estevez. I'm like, fucking bravo. I just met this new girl. I'm fucking her. This is what I'm going to do. There's food here. Huh?
You said like a hero, right?
Oh, yeah, like a hero.
They call her hero.
She calls him a hero. Like a hero. Yeah. You make love like
a hero.
Right. That's good to hear, though, from a woman after you've had sex. A hero, I'd take it. But anyway, it's silly, too. But the thing is this. As soon as she said that line, or when they're talking about that, I'm thinking, well, okay, now you can just fuck this girl for the next 7 days, and you have food upstairs in the fucking. It's a damn gas station. There's food there. You can all survive for 7 days and stay inside and not even pay attention to those trucks, and nothing's gonna happen. How is that fucking terrifying? You don't have to do shit. You just fucking go by and wait it out for a week, and then he can fuck this girl because he just met her for 7 days. That'd be good. I wish I could do that for 7 days. Just stay inside one place and here. I mean, yes, I would miss having.
They destroy the place. Sorry, I missed it because
later on after they fight back.
Yes, later on after. Correct. But if they just would have laid low and said, okay, we can't get out. Well, let's just go down here and fucking wait it out. There's food. What else do you need in life? Food and water.
And I don't know if it was intentional, but when the kid finds the Bible salesman in the mud, it just looked like out of Apocalypse Now, right? He's all.
Should have just had Martin Sheen there.
That's
Emilio, get out of this movie.
Brother. Hello, brother.
That was creepy though. They make that Bible salesman really creepy in that scene.
He was
I'm going to kill you.
He was a whistling moon traveler, I heard.
They would have attacked if they didn't do anything. I don't think the trucks would have just left them there. I think they would have eventually attacked. Like, what was the end game?
They were
like none of this
them.
movie makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but it's a fun movie.
Fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know though. Another thing that the one thing that I always, as much as I love this movie, the one thing that I hate and always takes me down is the married couple, the wife. Yeah. Like, oh my God, like her nagging, like Curtis, like the whole movie is just like, oh my God. Like even when I was younger, I was like, I can't stand this woman. And it's the same way still.
Personality. I know. I don't think you're supposed to. Like I remember thinking the exact same thing as a kid, and the exact same thing watching it this time. She's annoying, but I think she's supposed to be. And whatever.
She's like that in the other movies too, like the Legend of Billie Jean or whatever. Like,
I love the Legend of Billie Jean.
yeah. Even that, like she's still like her. I don't know. I think it's just her voice. Like
Herman's Head. That's what I know her from. Yeah. It's just Herman's Head too.
She's
she's Lisa
Simpsons. Yeah.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
You could totally hear her too.
I always think it's like. They're fine, and I like the husband, but yeah, their whole thing with the car. Instantly, when they show up in the car, I'm like, why is their car okay? I've always been that way. Why is and then because then it is like I thought it was an old car, but aren't there old cars that try to start up, or are they all old trucks? Who gives a fuck? Why am I arguing this? It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Well, I don't get why they wanted to get in. Why did Lisa Simpson and her man, the newlyweds, if you're being chased and you see this place that's being circled by all these trucks and they're concerned about calling police, don't you think that the people that are in that place have a phone, they've already called the cops? What can you benefit as a person for survival by going in there where you're going into the fucking hornet's nest?
People like
why
groups.
would they want to drive in
You
there?
guys are suffering from logical thinking right now.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You really are.
It's a fun ass movie, but I think the AC/DC soundtrack definitely helps. But it's ridiculous, like the fact that they got an arsenal in the basement. Plot convenience, stupid, but fun. I like Bubba. I like him. I like every line he says. I don't give a ladybug, and like the fact that he's on parole and he wants him to clock in for 7 hours but work 8, and then he looks at the time cards and you can see that some people are double parole, so there's like double stars or star. I thought, that's a good characterization. That's probably the best part of the script writing in this whole movie.
I agree.
Is that little bit. But then they don't really do much with them. And then most of these characters are everybody's expendable. Mm-hmm. But there's one really bad. I don't know if it's because of HD or whatever now, but when someone gets shot and you see the aftermath, you could see he gets shot twice in the head and he falls to the ground. It's when the gun takes everybody out in the diner pretty much. You could see this looks gray. The bladder effect on his head looks gray. It doesn't even look like his same skin tone on his head. It looks so bad.
Wow. I'm lucky I didn't notice it.
Good thing he wasn't shot in the bladder. He would have peed on his balls.
There you go. You had to fit it in every fucking review.
Hey. How about the airplane and the school bus at the end when they leave? Who doesn't want to see that? Like, that's the problem with this movie. I see so many things. I'm like, I need to see this. I don't care how goofy it is. I need to see an airplane crash into a school bus full of kids. And I really need to see that police toy car kill the dog. I need to see that.
I'm with you, buddy. It'd be great. That'd be
now it'd be done as a zombie apocalypse movie now. It would be total chaos in the first 20 minutes. But then at some point, what do? You've got to settle on a group of people that we were supposed to care about, and they've got to convene somewhere so that they can figure out what the next steps are. So one way or the other, they could be constantly on the run, and you could try to make it that way. And that could work. But for what this movie is at the time, I liked the locale that they've picked. And the cross section of people and the diner.
Here comes another load of joy.
I have 2 questions about the gun, the machine gun. Number 1, did the gun growl at that one time after it fucking executed everybody at the end? Did it growl, or was it me?
No, it growls.
It does growl. Okay, I think that's funny. That's fine. It's like the shark growling in fucking some of the Jaws sequels. Okay, making sure that. Now, what happened later on when they defeated the gun? To me, I could have fucking blinked or spaced out for a second. To me, you see fucking Emilio go outside. He says something. He grabs the gun and spins it. And because he spins it, somehow they're able to get away. Was there a lead up to that?
He has a
spun it
grenade.
and
He has
threw
a
a grenade
grenade.
on
He has a grenade.
Huh?
He throws
He
a
had
grenade on it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, somehow I missed that.
You know that whole thing when it blows up?
That's what I'm saying, it made
you
no
thought he
sense.
just spun it?
That's why I asked.
And then
Yeah.
it goes "Woo!" and explodes.
No one
Why didn't
questions
you
the fact
spin it?
if that gun could go off, because remember, it's not mechanically attached to the freaking truck. It's just it's
Mounted.
just physically mounted. But so if that gun could go off just because it's attached, that means anybody's guns can go off too. So again, the whole thought process, there's no sense of. Again, we are putting too much reason,
Well,
as Brandon said,
They
but
can't float. Guns can't float, so they have to be carried by something.
Hey.
no. But you're saying
You'll float too.
your gun could go. That means any gun can go off in your cabinet. Any gun could go off in your hoister, whatever.
It's
Like,
awesome. Wow.
like, yeah,
Shoot
but
you right in the balls.
but that doesn't make any
and then
sense.
you pee on them.
Is it anything mechanical? Is it anything motorized? Is it anything metal? Like, what the hell? It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Christian, awesome. You just said, is it anything mechanical? I need to see a scene where they're at a bar and a mechanical bull just malfunctions and kills somebody at a time. I need to see that. This
Throws,
movie
like,
needs
some
a
of the-
remake.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
literally impales somebody on the wall because there's
Did you ever
antlers
see that
hanging on the
movie?
wall.
Did you ever see fucking Stir Crazy in the beginning when they put G. Wilder on the fucking mechanical bull in the prison guard's office, and they speed it up and he's going real fast and he's going. And you guys seen Stir Crazy? If you haven't, you've done yourself a disservice because they sped that scene up, and that's exactly what I thought of. B when you said a sped up mechanical bull. Gene Wilder, woo! He was going crazy.
That would be
Oh.
funny.
Holy fuck. Oh, son of a bitch. There was something. Okay, why did he spin the gun? Why not just put the grenade on there and let it blow? That's just adding danger to it. No?
He's tried to distract it. He's like giving it a bitch slap. He's like, oh, that's why he goes up to the guy. He's like, when I say run, run. Why? Just run. And he hits it and he throws a grenade and they run and they take off. But you're right, because it's spinning around shooting. Like it's like more like a wildfire.
He should have just pushed it slightly, so it's just shooting the other way.
Yeah.
So it couldn't circle back.
He should have just grabbed it and held it down. Like what the like again this movie, I don't know if like as a kid I would have given it a 10 out of 10 because I've watched it so many freaking times over and over and over again, and I feel like it almost could get a 0 out of 10. Like it could be any end of the spectrum because it's so goddamn ridiculous, but you can't help but watch it. It's like a train wreck. It just happened in front of your eyes. It's just you're just like, it's crazy what I see on the show or in the movie and on the show.
Some parts are, I don't know, like even like the Morse code part, I thought was kind of it's a little out of there. Like, you know, the little 10-year-old kid's going to be like, oh, Morse code.
Yeah. And they need
like,
they need that truck to do it. No other car could have used a horn. They had to bring that guy in to be the do. They have horns. They could have been.
Yeah, like
That would have
Green
been
Goblin.
I'm the same though. Like as much as I love this movie, I know it's like it's a turd. Like,
Yeah. But it's a loving, like it's. I'm with you. Like I don't hate it. It's so enjoyable, except the end. There's just I wish that it had a bigger end.
See, I could have loved it. I could have loved it if the first half hour would have been the whole movie. If you could call it a bad movie, a so bad it's good, whatever. If that was the tone of the whole movie, I would be proud to fucking say I love this movie and say it entertains me the whole time. It's great. I just find the goofiness kind of goes away, albeit a couple scenes here and there in the fucking second and third act. That's how I see it. I see it in the beginning done right, and then I just see it tries to take a serious tone to a degree when the real horror, I guess, begins in a siege narrative, and you just get a couple lines here and there. But I just don't get again, some people do love it. Like apparently you guys do. I just think that the first act is what's loving about it, and the rest is just kind of slow with a couple random things here and there, which make you chuckle.
Because
I guess
they don't develop the characters enough. But I thought the most unintentionally funny part is the kid's father, who takes a load of diesel in the eye and is blinded, yet he's like, I gotta go look for my boy. Nobody else is like, you know what, I'll go with you considering you're blind. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll be okay. And then he's like literally killed 2 seconds later.
Is that all? Flush his eyes. Leave me alone. That was Bubba.
See, I never saw this as a kid. That's another thing. And if I did see it as a kid, it was a one and done. Like, I bought the soundtrack right when it came out because I was a huge AC/DC fan. And I mean huge. Fucking was so big I forgot the H huge. You know what I mean? Now I wouldn't put him in my...
Whoa. Damn it, my power went out. I think you were talking about the experience of not seeing it as a kid and everything like that, but...
Yeah, I didn't see it. I had the soundtracks. I was a huge AC/DC fan. I had all the CDs as a kid. So the soundtrack, all the songs were the same. They were songs we've heard before from AC/DC, except the song "Who Made Who," and then there were 2. What do you call it? That's 2 instrumentals. DT was one of them. That was the one when the kid's driving the bike. Nah, 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 nah. That's good shit. Yeah, and Chase the Ace, which is like. Yeah, it's great. That's a great scene in the movie. I love it. And I love that song. It's fucking great. And Chase the Ace, which is another instrumental, which was like the action scene. There was like truck chase. Something was going on during that towards the end. I don't know. But great. And they use the songs in the right parts. One part they're playing "Shake Your Foundation," which is from another one of their albums as they're trashing it. And the weird thing is this: there's a scene in the movie where the guy says, "Hell's Bells." And the fucking scene cuts, and they don't play Hell's Bells. They play a different AC/DC song, and later they play Hell's Bells for no reason. Mm-hmm. Fucking weird, huh? Why would you do that? You have the perfect opportunity.
Fit the movie better when they do play it. But yeah, it was great. And funny enough, talking about AC/DC again, we were talking about their album last time when we were talking about No Soul in Music, and you said that Back in Black was track 3, but it was actually the first track on the B-side. So that must have been where I said Hell's Bells was track 1 and Back in Black was the first track, maybe number 5 on so it was a B-side. And that's how I remembered it as a kid. I just assumed it was the first song, but it's actually the first song on B-side.
On the second side?
Which you never hear about B-sides much anymore, other than when artists talk about B-sides and rarities or whatever. But because no one's used to albums, which further, I guess, is proof of the argument we were making last show about picking songs and not albums.
I never hear the term B-side used unless you're talking about single. When back in the day, there would be the fucking B-side of the single. You know what I mean? Like famously, Ice Ice Baby was actually the B-side to play that funky music for Vanilla Ice. Like the hit was supposed to be play that funky music, and it didn't really take off. And then a DJ spun the B-side, and it happened to be Ice Ice Baby, and then that fucking caught on. It was the B-sides are usually the songs that are on the flip side of the fucking single they would sell. So, but there's also the second side of the album or the cassette, which was always a big deal. So when you're saying Back in Black was on the B-side, I know what you're saying. You're saying that it was
side 2,
the second half of the album, first track, which it still had a thing. See, I was right on the first 2 tracks, Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, and for some reason my memory was Back in Black was the third, but it's not. It's
well, no, you were correct because I was like saying, you come in with Back in Black, and we were making the joke and whatever, but it was because I knew it was but I remember now it's because you flip it over and pop it on and boom, you just got that track too. But anyway, it was just a side note since we're talking AC/DC again.
Right, and Who Made Who, great song, but the weird thing is that woman does that fucking shtick twice. We made you! You know what she sounds like, by the way? Caroline Williams. It totally could have been her in that role. Fucking, she came out when she was screaming, she sounds just like her. But they did it twice. She did it in the beginning, then she did it towards the end.
I thought she sounded more like LG.
OLG.
OLG. OLG.
That's fucking great. That was weird that she came out and did it twice, though. They should have killed her fucking ass the second. Enough, bitch. You know what I mean? How many fucking times you gonna harass us? You got some balls, don't you?
We know we made them. We know we made them. Don't need you.
Yeah, what do you...
That's all you've been saying for the last 24 hours.
You got some balls, lady. Now go piss on them.
But I stand by it.
Asshole.
It's funny, Dave, because you said you like the opening, but like I started this by saying I like the first half of the movie, and then the second half feels like it's grinding gears, as we usually say, and now it makes the most sense for this movie.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yeah. I mean, I don't. As a kid, like I said, I probably would have been like, yeah, 10 out of 10. But realistically, I'd say probably like a 6. I'll go 6. Yeah. It's fun. I'll watch it. I got no problem putting it on, but I got to be realistic.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah, me too. I would say a 6 as well. I like the red eyes. I like that stuff when it glows in the truck. Some people might think it's corny, but I think it's cool when it happens. And let me ask you guys a question. Adios, motherfuckers. That comes from this movie because I hear it a lot. That's like a famous line because of Maximum Overdrive.
I don't know if they did it before this, but I know he does say it at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually from this film, but you're right. He does say it, but I can't imagine that it's being quoted because of this movie, but who knows?
Oh, so he might have lifted it from some... I'm going to look it up. I'm curious about that. Okay. All right. But yeah, like I said, it's a 6, but I wish it would have stayed what it was doing in the first fucking act. But it's okay. Some people love it, though. Love it. Hey, that's cool. You know, nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. I mean, I love it, but like I said, realistically, I know. Like, everything we talked about, like, you know, I think it's a, 7.5, 8. Like, but it's something I can always throw on. Like, I can always watch. Like, it's a guilty pleasure. It's one of those movies that just never get old to me. Like, I can just put it on anytime and just let it go.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm at a 7. I feel 6 is just too low. 6 doesn't have the rewatchability. 7.
And I see, like, I mean, I agree with Mitchell and you. I would put this on and rewatch it. So maybe it is too low, but I got to be. I mean, it's not. I know I'm watching a bad movie when I'm watching it. Like I know it is, and I still think the first half is stronger than the second. But okay, yeah, I can't, maybe I'm trying to second guess mine. But 7 and. I can agree with that. You broke me again. I'm getting broken.
They broke you bad before.
Man, I think it is from this movie, Adios, Motherfucker. Because I Googled it. And
8 out of 10.
I go with 6.5. It's as high as I could go with it. But again, that's a drink, Adios, Motherfucker? Wow.
What's it going to take to get you into a 7?
Nope. No.
Really? No, not a 7?
What do I have to do for you to have you leave this place today with a 7?
6.5 is as high as I go. I'm a fucking.
Let me go talk to my manager. Yeah. See what I can do.
It's your boiler room again or something? What the fuck's going on over here? Trying to upsell you to a 7.
Yeah, and it has to include the roadside assistance. Okay. Yep, I'm like I'm as shrewd as an Arab trader. What does the guy say in fucking Christmas Story? My father, when he was talking about buying Christmas trees.
You know what would be fantastic in the remake? I'm sorry, Dave, but you just you was talking about it. Would be if they have this opening and all of a sudden they have this pan down, and then you see like the Dixie whatever, and you're like, oh, here we go, and then one of those planes just comes crashing into it, and it just explodes. And then it just cuts away and we go to somewhere else. Like it's a total tease, as if you think you're coming out to like revisit like the Dixie Diner, and then like those airplanes, the ones that crash into a bus, just beelines it right in, and it just explodes into smithereens, and we move on right from there. That would be fantastic.
That's a clip for our movie. That's another one. With a cheap looking fucking, what do you call it? The explosions that you see. Which are probably easy to do on a computer, which I'm guessing.
Digital explosions.
One more for the Alabama Baked movie.
Yeah, Alabama Baked. Yeah. Don't they do those explosions in Psycho Gorman too? Those cheap explosions.
Oh yeah.
Or no? Okay, well
they're everywhere now. Now that you've gone digital, everything's digital.
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm digital. This is not even me.
I'm
I'm
Bobby
sleeping
Digital.
right now.
I'm Digital Underground.
Yes.
Never
Now
have I
stop
more
what
wanted to
you're
get out of a
doing.
review.
Now stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin.
The image and the style that you used to, indeed. Okay,
See, you
we
look
gotta move
funny.
on. But yo, I'm making money. See, it's a whole world. I hope you're ready for
See, you called him C.
exactly. I'm making money. See.
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay.
Jesus
We gotta-
Christ.
We gotta get into the main event. We gotta get into the main event. Yeah,
Chris's
baby.
favorite, Child's
Yeah,
Play,
it's gonna be
1988.
interesting.
Directed by Tom Holland, written by Don Mancini. A single mother gives her son a much sought-after doll for his birthday, only to discover that it is possessed by the soul of a serial killer.
I changed my rating. 7 out of 10 for Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah!
You upsold him. I'm 6.5. See, here's the deal.
All right, that's fun.
I had 6.5 written down, and when C came in with a 6, I seemed like he was blowing it the most. So I'm like, wait a minute. If he's gonna do this, I don't have to feel bad to fucking. I don't want to come ahead of C. What's the difference?
No,
I'll go back
because
down to a 6, which was my
it
original.
doesn't make
rating.
any
I did it out of
sense.
the bar.
I make sure I've said it's a bad movie, yet I watch it. I mean, I know, like Rocky IV to me, there's parts of me that know like it's a crazy ass movie, but I love it. So there. I mean,
you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it a 7.5 and give that extra half point to you, Dave.
Mitchell, what's your rating? Are you changing your rating?
No, mine's the same.
His is a 7.5, 8. If we talk another 10 minutes, I think I can get this into the Hall of Fame.
Because the reason for this is because of the movie we're going to be talking about now and where I come in with my rating. And this is a movie I wouldn't put on all the time. I wouldn't choose to put this on, whereas Maximum Overdrive I would. So there's got to be a differentiation between that and a rating somehow. So that is the reasoning why. And sorry, did you introduce Child's Play? I know you said we were going to do it.
I did.
Okay.
This
Mitchell,
is the one that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Hell yeah,
Wow.
me too.
This one, like literally going to like Hollywood or Blockbuster, like I had to have my brother go in the horror section and turn the VHS cover the opposite way.
Wow, just Chucky on the cover looking that way scares you, huh?
Yeah, because he used to have that, the knife.
Yes.
So like literally, if I wanted to go down that horror section, my little brother had to walk down the aisle.
your little brother. That's even
Yeah, my
that's
little
awesome.
brother.
And flip it.
And he had to flip the box because I couldn't do it.
That's
I
the great.
just-
I love stories like that. So for me, as a kid, that was Nosferatu. We had him in a magazine, a horror book that I think I still have downstairs. And my buddy and I would flip to the page, and if I saw the picture of Nosferatu, I would go. I'd just run it. I hated it. It scared the shit out of me. And so we'd try to flip it open. If it flipped to that page, we'd run out of the room.
When Dave
And it
was
reminds me of that.
When Dave was a kid, he used to make his brother turn off that scary radio program. Turn off that scary radio program.
Aw.
Oh,
That's crazy. I love stories like that, though. Don't leave, Mitchell. It's just cover art.
Yeah,
All right.
I couldn't do it.
So I guess I was about 15 when this came out, and people were raving about it, and I love Tom Holland. I mean, this is like he came off of. I thought Brandon was going to start pissing in the background. I'm like, shut the door!
He's just gonna piss on his balls. Don't worry about him.
And he came off Fright Night, which Fright Night's a personal favorite. So I was all on board for this, and people were raving about it. I thought this was a slam fucking dunk. And even as a kid, I didn't really care for it that much. I've watched it many times over the years in hopes that it would get better. I really get hung up. Again, I know it's a killer doll movie, so people are like, stop looking so deep into it. But the whole mumbo jumbo of the ritual and everything like that just is ludicrous to me. I just find it
Voodoo.
so voodoo.
Yeah, it's
It's so
voodoo and,
stupid.
Real.
Dambella is a real voodoo god
Correct.
or whatever.
That's
Yeah.
correct. They even had to change they even had to change the, what do you call it, the chant because of that.
Yeah.
You know,
I much prefer the AI in the newer version than the voodoo of the original. And I think
Not
That's
me.
funny because AI don't.
Yeah, right.
oh man,
I don't
But-
either. I love the voodoo aspect because
oh I
it's
hate it.
no different than any other fucking evil religious thing that we see. And it's like the Zuni fetish doll. Does that
Yeah.
bother you? That's fucking because of similar shit.
I don't say I hate the voodoo in this movie. I'm not saying I hate voodoo in any film. I just think it's so cheesily done here.
Voodoo.
Voodoo.
What? I mean, the babe?
So I still don't get it. You don't hate it in movies, but you just don't like it in this movie?
That's just done really horribly in this film. It just is so cheesy when he. Hey, I mean, how many you've seen the movie? It's just so cheesily done. I don't know how to explain it. To me, everything that they present in the movie is so ridiculously presented to me. But I don't know how else to explain it. What you don't find bad, I think, is absolutely ludicrously presented to me. I think it's filmed poorly. I think it's edited poorly. I think. The actual dialogue of what he's saying is laughable. I just don't like any aspect of that part of the movie. And
Dewey Dumbala doing the fucking
yes,
chant.
yeah, that stuff.
So if there was no chant,
Yeah,
so if
It's
there was
so
no
cheesy.
chant, and let's say it was done like Jason Lives, they just stuck fucking a stick in him and lightning came and hit it, that would be okay?
no, I don't think they should have done anything. I think they should have had him be like he says, I need to find someone or whatever. He looks at the doll, grabs it, cut.
What if
He's
instead of
dead.
chanting,
He's
it
dead
was a
with the
choir?
doll
It
dead
was a
beside
choir
him.
singing.
You can keep the voodoo plot. That takes me right out of the movie. The big explosion, everything like that. It just ruins. It just right from the get go. It's off on a horrible start. It's more ludicrous than Maximum Overdrive.
It's more ludicrous than ludicrous.
It's a stupid opening, and
You hate
more
this
so
movie
than
so much.
Maximum
Oh my
Overdrive. It is. I don't even know what the
like the
joke
one
is. I
you do.
bowled right over it. I don't even know what you're laughing about. I honestly didn't even hear you.
Because I said instead of him chanting, it should be a choir singing, and Dave lost it, and you
That's
were
actually
just
funny.
so angry and in the zone that you didn't even hear.
I didn't, but that's funny. I will give you credit for that. That is funny, but yes, it doesn't take away from the fact that I even at 15, I'm like, what the fuck are we watching here? Like I was like, this is horrible. I think it's because it came from a serious opening, and then that was in there, and I'm like, like the scariest part to me, I've said it in the chat, I've said it before, is when she finds out there's no batteries. And I think that's a great that sequence is great.
That's a fantastic
And
scene.
That scene is well done, and that's the best scene in the movie. And everything, like, I'm not saying everything before it because there's some okay stuff before it, but not much after keeps me engaged. I like the sequels better than this movie.
I could see that, but I'm engaged in it because it's short. It gets right to the point. I really think the kid does a terrific job. When he starts crying in the hospital, that's real. That's
Totally, dude.
right?
They probably pinched the kid like, hey, you
Yeah.
fuck. Action.
But for me, this came out when I was 8 years old. So I probably saw this when it was available to rent when I was like 9. So I was at the prime age. Terrified me. Absolutely haunted me. The idea that a doll could come to life, this just haunted my nightmares for a long time. And there's something about this version of the Chucky doll, even when he's just talking as a good guy, the way the mouth moves and everything, it just don't look right. Just don't look right.
No. Like, there is good elements in this. I'm just talking about and I'm in the minority. Trust me, I know this movie's beloved. People love this film. I think maybe Watson and I see eye to eye on this first installment of just not be.
You must have to crouch down then.
Yeah. That was Brandon once. And I don't even know if to the degree. Mine is really the hokiness of the presentation of the voodoo at the beginning. I don't even care that he goes after the guy later and everything like that. There is some okay stuff later, but I'm not 100% on board. It doesn't grip me like a lot of the other movies.
Chucky wants to watch the 9 o'clock news.
Yeah, it's so good. I do wish they would have showed some of Brad Dwarf as the Strangler, though.
Oh, it's a
Interesting.
strangler, like they do
Yeah,
in Curse. Yeah.
Yeah, like just even in the first movie, because like in the beginning when Andy comes in and gives the mom the breakfast, on the news is they're talking about him being gunned down that night.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
would have liked maybe a flashback or just something that would have showed him maybe how he got his name. Like, why are they calling him the Strangler?
Cigar
Like,
face. Now you'll find out why they call me.
You know what's
the
funny? Dave
Strangler.
got distracted at that breakfast scene because Andy made toast, and that just made Dave salivate.
He put butter on it. Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, it's almost holiday time.
One time a year.
Oh
Is it
yeah,
Christmas already?
Baby.
his toast for once a year.
Fuck yeah.
Hey,
Christmas toast.
it has to be better than chicken wings with no sauce.
Has anybody had it yet, though? You gotta have a wing.
I love the fact that Dave's favorite sauce is no sauce.
He never said that, but it's still funny. It's still funny.
Okay.
He just said, "Have you ever had it?" And
Yeah,
then it
I
became
know,
his
but
favorite. I know.
Funny, go, 'cause
I
we're
love
talking
it.
about
I love
top
it.
5 sauces, and it's like, have you
No
ever tried
sauce.
no sauce?
You know,
So
what?
wait,
I
so
like a
now-
cheeseburger with no cheese.
What's your favorite cheese? Oh, my favorite cheese is the cheeseburger without the cheese on it. That's my favorite cheese.
I like the
Oh.
double hamburger.
So wait, so Mitchell, you said you were afraid of the box in the video store. So I'm gonna guess that you were also afraid to watch the movie. So you probably didn't see it when it first came out.
I saw it, but I couldn't watch it alone. Like, I had to have my brother watch it with me, or I had to watch it during the day, or I couldn't watch it at night, or I just couldn't. Like, he
Wow.
just scared the shit out of me.
Damn.
Like, even we were gonna watch it one time. It was me, my other 2 brothers. My mom was, in the room in the shower, and I told them, I was like, I'll watch the movie. You just got to put the box up, and I'm cool. And they were like, okay. So, I go into the living room. I should have known something was up, because as soon as I got into the living room, my older brother's, blocking the way I walked in. And then my other brother's behind him, just slowly creeping up. And they literally pinned me in the corner of the wall with the box.
Aw.
And I'm telling you, I flipped so bad. Like, I literally almost broke my mom's door down. Like, I'm telling you.
That's
I
great.
believe
The power of
Yeah.
no. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's
is.
what it was as kids, and that's what leads to the fascination, I think, with horror when you get a bit older as well. What terrifies you there, it's almost like a conquering of the fear, even if you weren't thinking of it that way, because that's how I look at it. Like, I was petrified of this shit, so I'm going to embrace it. Make your enemy your friend, your best friend.
It still happens, though. Like, I went to Universal, the Halloween Horror Nights, 3 years ago. And I couldn't do the terror train because I knew Chucky was going to be at the end of it.
Wow.
I was like, it was the best ride of the night. And I was like, I can't, I don't want to
You
do it.
hopped off before the end.
Exactly. And
It's on a loop.
My brothers are giving me shit the whole night. They're like, they're like, oh, you're a wuss. And I was like, my excuse was I was like, oh, I gotta stay and protect mom. She got a bad heart. She might have a heart attack. But I just knew that at the end of that ride, he's gonna pop up. And
What if he popped up in your cart? Like, you didn't even know
I
it?
can't do it. I just couldn't do it.
This is
Okay.
This is great. This is exactly how I felt as a kid. Like, I used to do the voice in bed.
I
I
was
would
the
do
same
the
way.
Chucky voice. I would do it myself and scare the shit out of myself.
I was the same way. I couldn't even stick my feet off the bed. Like, if my feet were to pop out the blankets,
Wow.
or if I dropped the remote on the floor, I'm not getting that remote at night.
I was at a friend's house once, and I went upstairs in the house, and he had a doll that looked like a good guy doll. I flipped out and ran downstairs. I still remember it like it was yesterday. It terrified me.
So this is
Yeah,
like the
so-
Jason for you guys. Like, that's what I was petrified of Jason and Freddy. I would have been 10
Really?
when Freddy came out, but it would still
Is that-
freak me out.
Is
Like,
that why we left Horrorphilia? Well, it scared you that much?
yeah, I had to turn the box around. It's from Texas.
I like.
I never had a thing like that.
It's like Alabama Part 2.
Part 2. I never had a horror movie character like that I was afraid of. I wish I did. The shit I'm afraid of goes too fucking deep. But I wish it was something as simple as a fucking. But let me ask you this:
It is a rocking horse.
Is it a doll? Well, yeah, but that's a supernatural thing. That's true. But I'm not afraid of a rocking horse. Only if I'm in the room alone with one in a basement. But not ordinarily. But still.
What if it has Sylvester Stallone's face and it's called a Rocky horse?
Hey, yo, Adrian.
That's got to be in the movie. We got to do that.
We did it. We did it, Adrian.
You can say Sly Stallone is fucking changing Rocky IV and taking out the robots. What if in the place of Paulie's robot was a Rocky horse? Hey, happy birthday, Paulie. And he talks. Happy birthday. He's rocking. That'd be great. But hold up. Are you afraid
they call
of
me
puppets?
the Italian stallion for a reason.
No, I'm not afraid of like puppets. It's literally just that damn doll.
Wait, so you bring up a good point about puppets. Madame X. I swear we brought her up on the show before.
Spooky.
Solid Gold, I think she was from, and Hollywood Squares back in the early 80s. Oh my God, she scared the hell out of me. You want to talk about running out of a room, turning a box around. She wasn't even a horror thing. I saw her on TV. I ran. My dad loved it. But I swear if he was able to record it, he would have recorded it and played it just to try to scare me as a joke one time. It scared the shit out of me. So I get it. I get the doll stuff. I guess when I was ripe from wanting like a Michael Myers or Freddy or Jason, and I got this talking doll that looked like a Freddy ripoff, really, because he was all doing like the bitch and wisecracking every 2 seconds. It was Freddy in a doll form, really.
And I was scared of puppets as a kid because I told you that story where I think I was 5 or 6, and my parents hired somebody to come dressed as Cookie Monster. And it was a woman who come, and I still have pictures in picture albums. She looked like she was 17 feet tall, dressed as Cookie Monster. It was the most horrifying thing I ever seen. Yeah, and then she did like puppet shows with like Miss Piggy and Kermit. Horrifying. It was my worst nightmare.
Wow.
I think I cried the whole party.
Oh, that's
my Lord.
But it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to.
You knew
would
it
cry
was
too
coming.
if it
We
happened.
fucking
Yeah.
asked for it.
It's true though. But see, I'm with you on that puppet, that Madam X, whatever the fuck her name is. But I could see why she would be spooky. I wasn't running out of the room, but I tell you, that was a fucking spooky thing. You know what else was kind of
There she
weird
is.
looking, odd looking a little bit? Was that fucking thing? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
That fucking kid.
Creepy.
And
And that was
eyes
all
are-
like, yeah. Oh. And when she talked to her, she'd go like, ah. She'd laugh like that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Did you ever watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Yep.
There was that one puppet on there, Lady Elaine. She was always a little bit like weird to me.
Yeah.
Off. I wasn't afraid of her. Something about the way
Yeah.
she looked was just a
I hear
little
you.
off-putting and weird. Her red nose that stuck out a little too far.
It was like an offshoot, like it's almost as if Madame X had a grandchild, and that was. But it was like I could see the similarities to the creepiness of Madame X in Lady Elaine.
Every time
And her
you
voice.
bring her up, I keep thinking he's talking about a former girlfriend. Madame X. Like, Madame X. She had this creepy ass puppet. Madame X.
Was it
She get good
Madame
puff.
Or was it just Madam or Madam? Was there an X?
Madam.
in it?
Probably Madame X, but he's like, Madame X.
Yeah, but I don't know if X was even part of it. I don't.
think it
Maybe
is.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, but X gonna give it to you.
Oh, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, Madame X puppet. I mean, I maybe you just no puppet Madame. I guess it's just Madame. Where did
Yeah.
the X from?
I don't know if it was X. I was
I think it is Madame. Yeah.
It was
Holy
Malcolm
shit,
X's wife. Someone should make a black one. If they're dressed just like
Oh
that, it could be Madame X.
She's got ball chin. She's got ball chin. I wonder if she
Ball-
pisses on her chin.
She's a Balchinian. Don't even.
Oh my
She is
God!
a
I got,
Balchinian.
Don't pee on her fucking ball chin.
look, a ball
Oh
chin.
my God.
purpose. Now you can at least laugh at her because she's
Oh
bald.
my
Now,
God.
if I
No,
saw-
that's horrifying. That's horrifying now.
Yeah.
At 40.
I'm glad you guys
as a
see
kid,
it.
Yeah,
The only box art I was ever afraid of is the Elephant Man, of course, because everything about that movie scares me. I'm so afraid of it to this day. I was working in Hollywood Video in the year 2000, right before I moved to Vegas. So at this, I'm going on fucking 30 years old, and I closed that store at night. I was the manager. Well, you have to walk down each aisle at the end to make sure everything's straight and this and that. Every time I walk down the aisle, it's dark. I'm about to close the place. I could not look at that fucking box. I'm a grown man, fucking 30 years old. I don't even want to look at that fucking. Everything about it's scary. The cover, the letters are fucking scary. The way the font.
That's a scary outfit. Is it true
Why do you
you
think
had
I'm
to have
so
Mitch?
afraid of
Is it
fucking
true
that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, is it true you had to have Mitchell's brother come in and turn the box around for you?
I just love how it was your younger brother. Because how old would he have been at the time?
He's a year younger than me, so if I was 10, he was 9.
Oh wow, but still, that's hilarious. You got to turn this around. That's awesome.
Yeah,
though. That's what this is about. The nostalgia, I can see the attachment there too, and right from there, it's a conquering of the fears. And then, so when you watched it, it probably still terrified you, and I can't take that away. I mean, I was just at that 15-year. That means Dave, you're a couple years older. I don't know. Did you see this out of the gate, and did it freak you out, or did you think it was a classic out of the gate?
Oh, Child's Play? No, I loved it out of the gate. It was the first, and I'm going to say that. It was kind of groundbreaking at the time because when were you seeing killer fucking dolls or puppets, really? I mean, they had been made, but when this one came out, it seemed like there was a lot of build-up for it. And it was like,
sure.
we're watching regular slashers in the 80s and this and that, other kind of movies. And okay, a killer doll, this is something we haven't. Yes, I know we have seen it. But at the time in the 80s, I can't recall any killer doll movies that I would have been into. But this one was marketed and there was build-up. I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. And I tell you, it had the right amount of everything for me.
Yeah.
And it still does. It still does. It has the heart of her and her son and what's going on there. And see, you know what this is? I'm going to make the comparison. This is like First Blood Part 1 or Nightmare on Elm Street 3, where it's a movie where afterwards the sequels became something else. This to me is Chucky in his purest form, and that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
The comedy is very little. Yes, he does open his mouth, just like Freddy does it in Nightmare 3. Yes, he does say a couple, but it's great when he's like, fuck you, the ugly doll thing. That stuff is great. They didn't really Bugs Bunny him until Part 3 and further, which is fine. But that's what I like about it. It's still scary, and every kill, it's set up like a slasher film. Like, even if there's POV, the music is like a slasher film. It's the way it's executed to me, I've just always liked it. And the kills, when you see them, they all make sense. Nobody can say, oh, it's a puppet, just kick it. The only thing which is a little ridiculous, I could see, but he can still have the strength of a grown man. So that doesn't bother me, is when he's choking somebody out. Someone could say, well, if it's just a puppet, you should be able to escape it. But if you're thinking about the whole voodoo thing and that he has the strength that the real Charles Lee Ray would have, it's passable. But aside from that, every time you see a kill, there's no way to prevent it. Like when Maggie gets killed, you can't say it's a puppet, just punt it. No, because as soon as she turns around, the fucking hammer's in her eye, and then she backs up and she's out the thing.
It's so
hammer.
It was more the shock that killed her. She fell back
Correct.
into the window. Because if you look, the hammer only makes a little cut above her eye.
Correct.
It's so ridiculous. But I get it. I mean, they could have played on the fact that it could have been Andy a bit more if they rearranged the beginning a little bit and played on that aspect. And they really abandoned that because, Brayden, you're correct with the running time should be right up my alley. It's like 83 minutes. This is like the in, out, done that I always say I want. Yet this, to me, feels so much longer. By the end, when he comes back Terminator style, I'm like, just get on with it. Kill the fucker.
The animatronics are so fantastic.
Yes, cutting edge, man.
Yeah, and
I think
love the
they
fact
did
that
better
you
in
get
the sequels.
the camera and the POVs and everything from such a small perspective, from a child perspective or a doll's perspective. it feels unnatural and unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
I could see you there. I mean, again, I don't hate the film. I am harking on the negatives right now. I just don't see why this is elevated to the same level as a lot of the other slashers and classics. Like to me, this is definitely like a B slasher or even less.
Know. Like I love it. I don't know that I don't know that my score is gonna represent like, oh my god, this is the greatest movie ever. But I just think that it's absolutely terrifying, and I like the fact that you like a child would love this, especially because he's so obsessed with good guys. If this good guy was talking to him, especially at his age, you wouldn't be terrified the way an adult would. So It makes sense why he's reacting the way he does. I love when he goes to Eddie's house and he puts him down because he has to go pee. He's like, "I'll be right back, Chucky." He says like a bunch like, "Chucky, Chucky." I was like, that's hilarious.
See, and I think it's great. That's the heart of the movie. That's why it works. That's why the story leading into it. There's so much more story in this than there are the other ones. The other ones just become fucking typical like slasher stuff. Like part 2 is good.
Yeah, they become fun.
I enjoy it. See, I like this better. This is horror. This is more fucking of a story and a mystery. I like when there's a mystery what nobody believes this is happening. And is this kid crazy? And yes, I know they did it in part 2. I get that, but it's something more. You see his obsession in this one, right? Like he says, like Brandon says, the cereal and the fucking he's dressing up like him and the cartoon show, and he's all into it, and you can see how he'd be misled. Where in the other ones, he now knows what Chucky is, and in the whole movie, and it's just like, okay, there's your baddie. I know it's real. Now I got to convince other people that it's real, and that's fine. But there's something about this one that the timing, the way the story evolves, it's it starts here and it goes through and it ends here. It's just a better story to me as a movie to see everything
even though I like part 3, I feel like when Tyler gets the doll, like I feel like Tyler's too old to have that relationship with Chucky that Andy had. It just it feels forced. Mm-hmm. And I enjoy the sequels. I actually do. And I see it. They are more lighthearted and maybe even a little bit more fun at times. But this one is the pure horror of the franchise.
Chris Sarandon is not good in this movie. I like Chris Sarandon. I think he's
perfect.
Something.
Yeah,
you think he's perfect? I hate his voice in it. I hate his acting. A scene that should have been absolutely terrifying with the knife coming up through the chair should have been way more effective, and they almost play it for laughs in a sense, like where it's like whoop or whatever. There's missed opportunities here that I wish they built upon. Again, there's that whole segue where she goes to find the vagrant or the homeless guy that gave her the doll. That whole montage sequence to me makes me laugh every time. Like she's going up to people like, he's got shitty teeth and whatever. And like, where is he? Then she goes, and then they're about to rape her, and then Chris Sarandon swoops out of nowhere to save the day. I'm like, what? Why that turn?
Followed her. He told her not to go there.
He tells her before. He's like, you don't want to be in that area this time of night.
Yeah. Right. And he sees her get in the cab, so he follows her.
Then he gets mad. Yeah. Right, because he knows he's going to follow her. And it's
funny
because my
explainable.
Wife watched
Still.
My wife watched this with me, and you know what she said? This is coming from her mouth now, a female. She's watching the movie, and when she says, I'm going to go, and this and that, and he's like, no, it's a bad part of town. So she leaves, and he gets mad because he knows he has to follow her. My wife says, she goes, see, if she was ugly, he wouldn't have followed her. And that's coming from a female. And I said, you know what? You might be right. I go, that's why they cast pretty people in fucking movies, I guess. And she goes, that's true. She goes, that's how men are. She goes, if he wasn't interested in her, he's not just doing it just out of the goodness of his heart. He's doing it because he's attracted to her. I said, I believe you. And it's on her. And speaking of her, Catherine Hicks, and I told her, and I always knew this, that she met Kevin Yeager, one of the production people, one of the makeup people for Chucky on this movie. When they made it, they got married in 1990. They're still together. That is great. Yeah, that's a success story. I thought so. I go, let me look it up. I'm pretty sure that's what happened here. Is that she met him on this movie, and 40 plus years together, man. That's fucking bravo for them. But I don't know. I love that scene. Oh, that's not all you got. And then because he followed her. I mean, it makes sense. You know?
You got way more.
Yeah, that's fucking great. That he's
I got a full set of teeth, you prick. Just run the fuck out of there.
And I like Chris Sarandon. I thought, granted, he ends up being pretty ineffective in the movie, but I like how he doubts it. Now he's fucking talking to her. He's like, because I'm sane, Mrs. Barkley, sane and rational. I fucking love that. He doubts it and doubts it. He has this thing going with this woman. Is he kind of attracted to her? I don't know, probably. But I mean, is he doing his job? Of course. But I don't know. I never had a problem with Chris Sarandon. I thought he was good, ineffective, but here's where he's needed. The gunshot in the heart at the end. Nobody else was a fucking marksman but him. Yeah. So he was solely there just to fucking put the final nail in the coffin. That's the one thing he did in the movie.
And I like the other cop too. The line he says about, who's going to believe me?
Right. Yeah.
That's actually a good line. It's true.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
sure it is.
This movie has the one line in cinema that honestly I don't think could ever be said again. I've got a date with a 6-year-old boy. I don't think you can use that anymore.
Right on.
Just you repeated it. I don't think you could have used it then either. It doesn't sound good at all.
I got a date with a 6-year-old boy, and you have a date with death. That whole scene is awesome.
Even before with the voodoo doll, he just swipes the leg and then snaps the arm. It's just like,
so good.
Love it.
And to me, nothing scary in this movie other than that battery sequence, which is effective. But none of the rest of the movie is remotely scary. And everybody says, "Oh no, of course not." Yeah, but not back then, not now, not whatever. At least some of the other slasher films or other things that came out had scares to them. Fright Night, even, which is like has comedic elements, had scares in it to me. Like this, to me, just that one sequence with the batteries.
I don't know. To me, the whole idea, like I said, being at that age when this movie came out, the whole idea that a doll could come to life, as irrational as it is, terrified me. And then even when they defeat Chucky at the end, I was ruined, much like they continued the storyline with the mother in part 2, where she's like in an institution. You know, I would be the same way. Like, how can you live and function in a world where dolls can come to life? So it like ruined me on a bigger scale. So this one messed me up.
Yeah, there's creepy parts. Like even when he's in the hospital and he's like looking at out the window and you can see Chucky climbing the stairs to get him. Like, oh my god,
dude!
Every time he goes and looks again, he's a bit closer.
Yeah,
closer.
That's when he starts crying, and that crying scene is so genuine. I would be crying too.
Yeah, it's just like,
it was so sad.
But what's with that hospital? Like it looked like a scene out of like Oliver Twist. There's like homeless kids sitting on the floor.
Yeah,
like, please, may I have some more? Oh God, Madam Balchinian.
Why did she pop up again? I guess it's a timer. I didn't do that again. It just popped up.
Oh, I thought you did that.
No.
That means the other one's going to pop on our balls. Unintentional comedy in this one scene. I mean, the hospital was a little bit too Oliver Twisty, but the one unintentionally funny scene when the mother comes home after Aunt Maggie's killed. The minute she walks into the apartment, the one cop sitting on the couch with his feet up reading the newspaper. Did you notice that?
Yeah, everyone's so calm. They don't say anything. A couple of them are eating.
Yeah, some of them are eating, but the one cop was sitting on the couch with his feet up on the table with the newspaper open reading it.
That's funny.
I was like, what the hell is this?
That's weird. I didn't notice that. All I remember after
they're all chilling out there. They're just chilling.
Chucky says Aunt Maggie is a real bitch and got what she deserved.
Andy, I want you to stop this.
Yeah. And then she's okay with it at the end. I'm sorry, I was making it up. But she still doesn't care that he said that she was a real bitch and got what she deserved.
Yeah, it's just...
I think C froze again.
This one's just good.
Oh, okay.
I met the actor that played Andy Barkley at a convention last year.
Oh, right on.
And he's like, I was joking with my brother. I was like, dude, he's still little Andy Barkley. Like he's like a 5'6" dude. Just so he's a super short guy. Like he literally looks the same.
Yeah.
It was just like it's just crazy. Like
Well, he's
like
in the
him
actual
and then
last one, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. By the way, I've heard somebody complain about fucking that they said voodoo for dummies online in what do you call it? In Cult of Chucky. Well, guess what? I discovered this yesterday. That was a callback to fucking
Bride
what
of
do you
Chucky.
call it? Yeah, Bride of Chucky, because she said she had a book that said voodoo for dummies. So if you don't have a problem with it in that movie that she has a book Voodoo for Dummies, then why would you have a problem that same book was transcribed online and there's now voodooForDummies.com? I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. But anyway, I don't know. Shit. I love that whole scene though. When he goes and visits that guy, the voodoo snacks his legs, the whole thing. And when he first sees him, he goes, "Hi." I always laugh. I love that fucking scene.
Yeah,
Everything is great about it.
that's just crazy. He's like, yeah, that whole scene, just even the guy, like the voodoo guy, he just sells it.
Yes.
Like he sells it.
You're an abomination.
A rage
Yes.
against nature. Yeah, that's
Oh,
just
it's
crazy.
great.
It's
I
crazy.
love it. You know what that picture looks like? Remember when they go to Charles Lee Ray's house and you see a picture of that guy? Now, just the picture, but not the guy himself. The picture looks just like Dennis Rodman. Next time you watch it, look at it. Dennis Rodman from the fucking when he played for the Pistons, the early days. Yeah.
Dennis
Before
Rodman used to be Dembella.
Oh shit.
He also pistons on his balls. Sorry.
He's definitely pissed on someone's balls, Dennis Rodman. There's no doubt about that.
Sure.
Probably Madonna's balls.
Oh. Amazing. And the kid, I complain about this all the time, but when somebody's trying to exonerate themselves or they have an excuse, and I always say this in movies, why not say that the kid comes out and he goes, I know who was on top of the fucking the counter. It was Chucky, and they just blow him off. And she goes, no, it wasn't. Go back. All he had to say in that movie, and it changes everything, is there's flour on the bottom of his shoes. That's all that kid. It's on the bottom of his shoes, Mom. And I can't stand when they fucking leave something like that hanging in the air for someone to grab so easily in a plot and they don't do it. Just don't write that part then. Again, that's a big complaint of mine. They do it in a lot of movies. It just always bothers me. Like, it's so easy for you to say, but wait a minute, and then solved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to set up that the cops are already going to assume that the kid killed the nanny.
I mean, the kid could walk up there with the fucking doll.
Yeah, that's why the cop was like, he's like, what's on the bottom of your shoes there? He's like, oh, is that a gun? He's like, a badge.
Souls, stupid. Souls, you dirty kappa.
Night of the Creeps. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. There you go. And in this movie, this is where we really get the real Dr. Shock. He was definitely in this movie. You know what I'm talking about? The fucking doctor when they put the thing on his head.
Yeah.
That's Doc Shock for sure, man.
Yeah, his when it showed his eyes used to always creep me out when I was little too, because they get all like blood red.
Yes.
I was like, oh, because it really doesn't show anything. You know, he gets a little toasted, but it just like the blood and stuff leaking from his eyes and his mouth is just like, oh.
Yeah, my wife hates that scene. She's like, oh, disgusting. I said, what? That's disgusting? She said, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Certain gore bothers her and certain gore doesn't. But like that, of all things, she says disgusting. I'm like,
yeah, I had a famous Dave Z scene a couple weeks ago.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
We were eating dinner and my wife's like, you want to put a movie on? So I'm like, cool. So I put on Saw 2. She did not appreciate that.
No.
She was like, she got up and she was like, something's wrong with you. She's like, you're fucked. Like, you're fucked in the head. And she literally,
like I did.
yeah, like literally everything.
This came out at like minute 90 of the film, though.
She was just like, how can you watch this? And I'm like,
that movie is hard.
Wow.
Like when we were doing the series last year, and I had watched that movie so many freaking times, it seemed, by the time we did the series. When my daughter and I were watching it, there is a shitload of screaming. Like in that particular installment, it sounds like everybody's just screaming for a long period of time that it's almost unwatchable.
Are you going to be calling the baseball game after this?
Why?
Because you're echoing like crazy.
Well, that's not on my end. But ultimately, I'm sorry. I feel like I brought this movie down, but this film is not for me. I do like the other ones in the series more. This is like one of the lowest ones, other than Seed.
Yeah, I can't stand Seed.
Wow.
Crazy.
I can't stand Seed either, but this is
probably my favorite. This is in probably my top 3, I would say.
Yeah, this part 2 and Curse.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, I'm the same. 1, 2, and Curse was great.
Yeah.
Colt was pretty good too, but
Colt's pretty. I enjoy them all. Look, I'm a Chucky fan, definitely. But this one to me will always have that special place in my heart because it just traumatized me as a child. What's the matter, C?
I don't know. I keep thinking someone's at the door, but no one comes in. Who's at the door? If that opens up, I can sort of see them. Let me know.
Man, I think it's the best story. And there's one more thing I want to bring up. Did you realize? Did anyone else think of this? When Chucky starts getting blasted towards the end, they did the same thing in Jason X. I think Jason X watched fucking Child's Play and did the same shit. Remember in Jason X when they upgrade the girl KM and she starts blasting body parts off them? It's the same shit. They fucking blast off, right?
The arm, the leg.
Yeah, he's walking. Yep.
Yeah.
Same fucking shit, man. The head, they blast everything off the same way they do it in Jason X. I'm like, son of a bitch.
And it took Mrs. Barkley an awfully long time to remember to kill the heart, even though they just spoke to the voodoo guy. And I wish the voodoo guy showed up in Jason X and said, "This movie is an abomination."
He should have been Brodsky.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh, fuck. I think they meant the heart. Well, again, it doesn't matter. He could come back. I think they actually meant the heart of Damballa itself. The fucking thing. The heart. I don't think they meant the heart of the doll, which is why that could explain how he comes back. Because they talk about the heart of Damballa. It's in fucking voodoo. It's a thing. So.
I was watching a lot of anthologies recently, and I saw a short anthology segment on voodoo, and it was Damballa. And the mask looked exactly like the mural in,
there you go.
In Charles Lee Ray's.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that is all factual about it. Yeah, about that entity. Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, cool. I was like, I had never seen another story about Damballa.
Right. But I mean, everyone does everything. She does everything she's supposed to do. My wife is watching this with me, and she starts to criticize the wife. She starts to criticize the mother. She's like, well, when this happened, she goes, call the cops. When remember that scene when she drops the battery and Chucky runs off in the elevator? I go, she is going to call him as soon as she gets down there and she can't find him. She does. Then something else happens. And she goes, I forgot what she said. She said something about she goes, show him the bite. When she's arguing with him about if he's real, sure enough, she pulls back her sleeve, she shows him the bite. But my wife likes to pick movies apart sometimes when she's watching them. And I loved it that everything she said to do, she does. The character does. I'm like, okay, this woman does everything she's supposed to do to try to save her son, and it's believable that, she would maybe do that to herself. I mean, you're trying to save your kid. You want him to get locked up. You don't want your kid to be a murderer. She's telling the truth, but of course, people on the other side don't know that. That's what this movie has that the others don't. It does not have that. This movie has the mother trying to defend him, not just him saying Chucky's coming. There's a different dynamic in this film. That's why one of the reasons I love it. It's something that the other ones don't have. It's just. And anyone noticed that towards the end, Chucky's teeth started looking like they were human teeth.
They start getting yellow and stuff, like kind of rotting.
They look like real teeth, like to the point that they don't look like a doll's teeth. You actually see teeth coming in, and I don't think earlier in the movie you see that. I think maybe because his face is half blasted off or something, but you see like actual teeth. Where earlier on in the movie you don't see those teeth. So I think
everything at the end, everything like comes out of the chimney, and he just like kicks the little thing down.
Yeah.
It's
great, man. It is. It's groundbreaking that what they did with the fucking what they did with the.
That's
it
crazy.
is what they. Well, hold on. Let me explain why. It's groundbreaking because of just from the fact of it being a, what do you call it, just for the mechanics, the animatronics at the time. Watch the special features on this. It was a real big deal.
Yeah.
All those cables and all those cords. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah, and how they shot it, and how sometimes they had to put a little person in a costume and do it, but they did it the right way. Where in the past you're watching a killer doll movie, and it just looks fucking stupid. In this time, yes, there are some things now you can go back and look, and you know when there's a little person in a costume, but still, for the time, what they were doing, it hadn't been done that way before. So a lot of thought went into this movie and how they were going to make it look as real as possible. That's why I give it a lot of respect.
There's only small roles. There's no small roles, only small people.
But I've said all I'm going to say about it. I think it's a good movie.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
Well, not your best of the night, but it's good.
It's not even night. It's afternoon. I'm fucking exhausted. I need a nap.
It's good.
You need a 20-minute nap? Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Don't do it. It reminds me of fucking, what do you call when Steve
Christmas
said
Vacation.
That. Thank you. Yep.
With the eggnog.
It's good. Yep. And he dips another one. I could see Christian being that, flipping the fuck out after being calm for a long time. And I got good.
It's about to happen right now.
I guess that means you better get out of here. Holy fuck. Is it because of us?
No. You can't. I know I'm in the minority for this film. I know that this is well loved. This particular installment, I just like I've never really liked it over the years. I've maybe been as high as a 7 before, and I don't hate the movie, even though all I really focused on was a negative, probably to counterbalance your love for it, guys. But ultimately, I'm not going to go first because we do have a special guest, and so Mitchell, you could go first. I just don't want to piss in your dreams or your balls, but you go first, and you let us know where you stand.
Oh, so, this is definitely a 10 for me.
I knew it, so I feel really bad.
I mean, no, I understand. Like, I think The Craft is a 9, so I can understand where you're coming from.
How did we know that before, Brandon? Should we have let him?
Cut his feed. Cut his feed, right?
Yeah, cut his feed.
Dave, what are you doing over there?
Cult of Z right there.
Looks like Dr. Chenard's over there.
I do.
Where are you, Mr. Z?
Where am I?
I'm at home.
8.5.
Hey, that's exactly where I am.
A what?
8.5.
I guess. Okay. Cool.
I love it. I love
me too.
I love part 1. I love part 2 a little bit less, and then I love Curse, and then I really like Cult. That's it. The first 2 and the last 2, and the ones, everything in between, it's not really my cup of tea. But
I'm lower than you guys. That's
what did you give it?
I'm a 6.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's why. That's why Maximum Overdrive had to come in higher.
Yeah. Well, I had to come up because I'll put Maximum Overdrive on. Like I said, I will put that on, even though I know it's a bad movie. I'll put it on. No question.
What's it going to take to get you into a 7 for Chucky?
This one will not flip.
What if I told you when they shoot it as a little person that Watson was playing Chucky?
Actually, might go down.
That makes it go down. Okay.
I'm joking. I know Watson wouldn't stoop to that level.
Oh,
he didn't stoop. He crouched.
It's your co-host that they're talking about there, D, whoever you are, the Emperor.
What I do now? What I
You
do?
look like the Grim Reaper in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah.
Who I do?
Yeah, you look like Death with a hood up.
Because I got a hood on.
Okay,
I'm cold down here. I'm fucking wrenched. This woman goes from fucking blasting the fucking heat to blasting the fucking air conditioner in one day. Every year, there's never one time she's comfortable where you can just put the air out the fucking windows, let some air in the house. I always got to be fucking burning up or freezing.
Dave, remember last week when Christian had to podcast in front of the shit pipes? Like, literally, the shit's being flushed in his face. I would love for one of those pipes.
Last week. That's every week. That's where I was sitting earlier. The pipe was right there.
Luckily, nobody can see it now. Now everybody sees it in the Jedi Council. So, because they're going to get my feed. I stayed in Jedi Council mode the whole time.
Oh,
I got to go back to Jedi Council.
It's great. It's fucking great.
In the back of the Jedi Council.
Wait till you see it. It's awesome.
It's really funny because you and I are in the back row, and then Christian and Mitchell are in front of us.
I hate these guys.
My head's cool.
Look at this nerd right here. Look right here. Dave's petting you on the head.
These guys are fucking jackasses. Oh my god. I have no
Trying to
head.
ghost at him.
I'm only fucked up.
Ghost dad, this fucker.
I gotta get out of here. So hopefully it was all that you wanted it to be and more. Mitchell.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, this is awesome.
Well, thank you. I knew, like, I've talked about Child's Play numerous times in the past, and like I said, I've never been very high on it, so I knew that going in. I was kind of hoping this time would change it, and it really didn't. But I will say that damn battery scene is very effective.
Battery's not included.
Yeah, that movie is not so effective. And maybe I think I remember having a tear come down my eye though when I first saw it. Probably because I spent money to see it in the theater.
I saw it in the theater, I think, too.
Anyway, let's let Mitchell get back to his life before he gets wrenched. Put Saw 3 on for dinner tonight.
I should either that one or that's the brain surgery one.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's
Put
great.
that scene on during dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Well, did you at least show her Saw 1 first?
Aw.
Aw.
Hey.
Say bye. Say bye.
Hey.
No.
Bye and thank you.
These guys are crazy.
Easy,
Awesome.
thank you. Thank
Say
you.
thank you.
Aw.
Good
Oh,
job.
See?
Very cute.
Let's go to grandma.
Well, thank you. Is there anything
No,
you want to
thank you,
pimp,
guys.
Mitchell? Is there anything that you want to promote? Do you have anything going on? Are you going to be at a convention coming up?
No, I mean I'll be in the convention in July over here. There's July 2nd to the 4th.
Nice.
So that'll
Oh,
be
I
kind
can't
of
wait.
cool.
I can't wait to
When-
get
when
back
is
to
that?
conventions.
It's called Mad Monster.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be, I believe right now they have like Skeet on there. They have
Skeet.
Matthew Lillard, freaking.
Oh my god, it's almost like they're getting everyone from Scream.
Oh, they have freaking Jason on there from New Beginning.
Oh,
Tom
Roy.
Morgan.
They have Roy on there, and then they have
Yeah.
Junior and Ethel.
oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
that'd be
supposed to
cool.
be there this year.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna probably have them sign my box set.
Awesome.
It was Ethel Merman.
Would you shut
so.
the fuck up?
Awesome. All right. Well,
It was great having you on. Thank you.
No,
yeah.
it was awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I mean, like I said, I literally listen to you guys every day at work. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
it was just
Well,
cool,
thank you.
like finally getting to actually talk with you guys. Like, I mean, I message Dave every once in a while, but it's just cool. It's just, like just sitting here, like I said, I listen to you guys every day. So I already feel like,
You know us?
yeah.
Well, I'm glad
it just
you
sounds
came
weird
on.
saying that, but yeah.
I'm
I
glad
feel-
you came on. I enjoyed, like, you're only the second person to do it. Christine did it also,
Right.
and I always say I wish more people would do it because this is the most fun. Like, we
Yeah.
want to interact with the people who listen, and we love doing this.
And that's,
Yeah,
I mean, that's how I feel when you listen to people and whatnot. You feel like you know them, because when I listen to podcasts, it's it. You feel like you actually know these people after listening to them for a while, or at least know their tastes. And then every once in a while, we'll throw each other for a loop, like Dave giving Ghost Story a 10 out of 10. Like, I mean, come on, Mitchell. When you heard that, did you want to turn off the show?
I'm still not over that.
Look at Dave. Dave's like, why are you picking on me?
How is that different than Mitchell giving, what do you call it, a 10 out of 10? It's no different. You guys gave 8 and he gave it a 10.
We haven't
Right?
done
What-
we haven't done 139 shows with Mitchell. But we might if you keep that attitude up. I'm kidding, Dave. It was, for whatever reason, that was the most surprising review rating in my mind in just of the more recent shows. That's the only reason I pick it
It
out.
was. It was
can
more
see.
shocking than Christian giving Toxic Avenger 10 out of 10. It was. I'm being honest because it came out of nowhere. Even your review didn't sound like a 10 out of 10.
Well, because I was fighting with you two some of it.
Yeah,
so
I
was
think
like,
it was
well,
true. I think we were
Sorry.
negative Nellies on those. And
Well, yeah, there was
whatever,
only
but-
There's only so much I can do. I'm not going to continue to fucking try to prove a point when I know I'm going nowhere. You know? So
That's why I didn't want to
Hey.
dump on Child's Play too much, because I know you guys liked it. I'd be destroyed if this went into like a deep argument about it. And I know that there are tons of fans out there. It doesn't hit the right. I just never been hot on this film, which is fine. I said my piece. We're done. We're about to leave. And like, we never know how to end a show, Mitchell. This is like, you should know this by now. It's like our thing.
right. Well, I'll tell everyone
Anyway.
out there that again, because sometimes people don't know. We have the chat and we have the group on Facebook, private, all private. In case you didn't know, let us know and get involved, because apparently some people still
private
don't
chat.
know. So there you go. Hey, there you go. Have all that stuff. We're all there. I mean, it's great now because there's only so many of us. That's what it's like. We feel like we know each other, but that's because it's kind of like an extended family, in a manner of speaking, which is great about us being exclusive this way. That's the best part about it. That we only know so many people, and everybody like can get to know each other. Just like recently, there was a thing on Twitter, and it was Topanga. She put something up there because of her sister's husband had passed away, and she put a thing on there. And I said, listen, if there's going to be anything, as far as like a fundraiser for something, because this guy passed away young, if there's anything, please feel free to let us know. We'll put it in the page. I'll put it on the social medias. We'll do that because, like I said, it's like an extended family. We like to take care of people. Everyone, being cool with us, and that's the way I look at it now. So,
Absolutely.
and that goes for if anybody
The
ever has
mafia
anything. Right. Well, there you go. If anybody has something they want us to promote, we will do it. Just ask us to do it. That's what we're here for. So, right on.
But thank
So
you for
again,
coming on the show again.
Yeah,
Thank
It was
thank
awesome.
you.
No, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
It won't be out. We don't know what we're doing next show, but it'll be a good time. And Manchichi. Hey, we're all gonna get laid. That's all I said. We're gonna do that too.